Hey, what it do? What it do, man? It's your guy, Mel, man. Mel, man. Hey, don't mind this clock behind y'all. Turn the clock because it's not the real time. Don't mind that clock behind you. It is not 8:48. It's not 8:48. It's 8:15. Man, I am late. I know I am, y'all. My bad. I'm late. I tried to get there, but I'm not as late as I used to be. Honestly, I made it here on time, man. I was just trying to get everything set up and in the proper manner to get ready for tonight's live. But before we jump into it, man, we gotta go ahead and get everything rocking and rolling, man. We gotta run that intro, man. We gotta get that intro rocking and rolling, man. So let's rock with it and we're gonna get it going, man. Let's go. It's your guy Mel, man.
We don't take no L.
What it do? What it do? I love that. Love my intro, man. Make sure y'all follow, like, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that bell, and everything else that you want to do. Let's do it. And I'm gonna put the link in, man. If y'all want to come into the show, let me see how you put that link in, where y'all can come into the show and um and get join the live, become part of the live, man. Let me see. I think this is it right here. Let's copy that. Let's copy this. Okay, we just copy that. And then I'm gonna put that link in. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Let's see if I'm gonna see if we can do this. So that the StreamYard link, I just posted StreamYard link on there. Let me see how that works. Because I have never done the StreamYard link. So I'm finna I had to get that I'm drinking that doggone lemonade shit from these goddamn what that shit called Chick-fil-A. Now they have all that little lemon seed shit in there. But let me check to make sure we live before we get this show started tonight, man. We finna get ready and I got some stuff I want to talk about, man. And really bring it to light. Now I had a good time. I want to first start off by saying this, man. I went out to the Invest Fest that's going down today, this weekend. For Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I went out to the Invest Fest today and hosted by Earn Your Leisure. And went out there and checked them out. And real dope event. I made a mistake this year, and last year was like you was able to go down there to the public, and you was able to just walk into the event, and it was a lot of people down there. You was able to network with everybody in the event, and really chit chat with everybody. In last year's Invest Fest, but in this year Invest Fest, I was not able to do that. I wasn't able to go and be part of it because they really had it sealed off, man. So I was trying to go down there and get a whole bunch of interviews and comments, but I figured out a way where I still can give me a bunch of interviews, a bunch of content, and still be able to have some things to post on the website, on the social medias, and do some great content. I just had to go figure it out today because I didn't get a chance to make it yesterday. So that was one of my downfalls of yesterday coming into today. But I got it. I'll be out there tomorrow, and I'm be ready to rock and roll, man. But all the great people that I got a chance to meet today and chop it over with and talk with y'all today, I'm glad that I was able to meet with you. I met with a bunch of realtors. Well, not a bunch, but I met with like one or two people that do real estate. One lady that came from New York, she's getting into real estate. Another guy that was in Carolina in real estate got his information. I didn't get her information. I was just talking, sharing some knowledge that I have with my insight on business. And we had a great conversation, man. Then I met another guy out there that has a podcast as well. And me and him got some real good content in. So it was real good, man. And we had a great time. So we about to get ready and jump into this podcast tonight, man. And have us a good time tonight. Josh supposed to have been here. And again, obviously now she'll say that, hey, I ain't sending the link. I did send the link, but she didn't. But we're gonna jump into this first video, y'all. That she did send me, man. That I wanted to talk about and kind of run this video into a couple other videos, but let's jump into this first video that I want to talk about. This is crazy. Josh sent me this link on from Facebook, and I was like, "What in HE to you know what going on here, man?" So let's check this out, y'all. Let's make this what fit. There we go. All right, y'all. Let's check this out.
Gonna happen. We all gonna be in this together, or you gonna get.
Y'all gotta see this video.
I'm not leaving Micah, so you won't leave.
I'm not leaving. Don't make me. I'm not. Stop playing.
It's two things that's gonna happen. We all gonna be in this together, or you gonna get out. Cause I'm really tired of arguing today. I'm trying to go out. We could do something beautiful today, but you in here acting all crazy, and I'm not having it.
I mean, babe, I love you. What am I doing? Like, tell me.
No, please.
No,
I'm not doing this with you.
Can you tell me what am I doing?
Well, you haven't provided. You don't pay rent.
What?
You don't do anything around the house unless you really feel so.
Honestly, what do you actually bring into this relationship in this house? Because as far as I'm concerned, we paying the rent, we buying the groceries, and you sitting here watching TV all day, watching Zeus Network.
I constantly listen to you anytime you have a problem, anytime you're mad with him, anytime you're mad with anything.
Girl, I'm gonna need more than that. I got a lot of people want to listen to me. I got a lot of people want to listen to me. You're gonna do a lot more than that if you're gonna be up in here. If this don't work.
So they listen at 1 o'clock in the morning, just tired, and they gotta go to work first thing at 6 a.m. like me at the airport. No, you know that was me.
That's why I don't understand this. How you working at the airport but you ain't got no money? Because we still paying the rent, we still paying the bills. These lights that you see, that's all us. So what you even doing?
You know what's going
on? What you going to work for?
You know, I just got. That's the whole point.
You gonna have to get out.
I got laid off.
And none of it is coming from you at all. 800 is coming out of my pocket. So I'm trying to.
And I had to report this because it's gonna happen every time. Every time you try to find happiness, it's gonna be people like this. It's gonna do what they gonna do. I don't know why you ain't comfortable. You better get up, girl.
No, what? We have been in a relationship for 3 years.
Back up. Michael, let her get up for herself. But you need to get up. You need to get out of this house.
You need to leave.
I ain't going nowhere. I am the one who has been with him. I'm the one who has met his family. You're still haven't been met his sister. Have you? Me and his sister are best friends. Because we know what it's like to be around him. We need to make sure he's in a
family, and they gonna love me. They're gonna love me more than you.
Yo, I already told you what it was. It was gonna be you, me, and him, or it was gonna be nothing at all. And right now, you don't want him in the picture, so you're gonna have to leave.
I didn't say that. I just said you need to spend a little bit more time with me. Did I or did I not say that?
We're gonna spend time together, and if you don't want
that,
need to spend time together. We're gonna spend time together, and if you don't want that, you can go ahead and leave. And you still here. Exactly. Why are you still here?
Because it's
you look goofy.
You know, I am in a relationship. I am in a committed relationship.
We are in a relationship, and you don't like that. You ain't happy no more. Everybody here happy. Mike, you happy?
I'm happy.
I'm happy. Why you not happy?
I'm happy. I don't know what you're talking about. You're trying to
bring
You're the one to keep on lying on me, dude. That is not fair.
Ain't nobody lying. Don't say I'm lying, because I told you what it was from the start. I told you it was gonna be you.
You're lying and saying I'm not happy. And when I told you I am in love with you.
Why are you here?
If you just stop putting that here, because I want to work out our issues. I want to make a compromise, but you just want your way.
There ain't no compromise. I'm trying to tell you.
Compromise. What is the compromise?
We don't all have to hang out together all the time.
Yes, we do. We're in a committed relationship with each other.
Girl, you wasting my time. Girl, you wasting my time. Girl, you wasting my time.
I
don't even know why I'm keeping you around anymore, because
you don't look the same as you used to. Sweetie,
your mustache.
Okay, and with a mustache that's strong.
I'm just confused why she's still here. I'm confused why you still here, because if we being honest, I'm really tired of you, because he makes sure the house clean. He makes sure I'm eating food when I get home. He making sure that bills is paid. Together, we doing it together. When you
I don't make sure you eat food.
Girl, you ain't never in the mood, and he always is. So what you mean? And the times when you are in the mood, I don't even like it for real, because you're not putting in effort enough.
My bad.
And Mike can do everything to make sure I'm straight.
I can't do everything, and I'm not all the time. Sorry if I got those hormonal female issues. You know, it's just part of it.
So what?
I can't do nothing about that.
If you want him gone all the time, so what we gonna do?
You can find a way to adjust.
And you can look also, but at the end of the day, when it comes to being a companion, a true companion, you're not there.
Look, if you wasn't gonna be okay with it, and if you was gonna start slacking after everything started, you should have never let Micah come in. Because look at her. Doing things that you can't do around this house and in that room.
Well,
so
the way you talking about him, I should have known that you really wanted him. I mean, good God. I mean, how many times can you spend so much time? Enough is enough. I mean, and you never talked about enough is enough. Yeah, enough is enough.
How so? Enough is enough for us to have you in this.
The thing is, you're the only one unhappy. I'm happy with my. You're not ready to be a part of all this, and you need to get out. And you still here. You still here. I get it. You want me, but I want Michael too. So you gonna have the both of us. You gonna have none of us. Choose.
And that's the choice.
No,
what you gonna do?
It's not gonna come out like that because at the end of the day, I'm going to stick together with the man
But I've already told you what it's gonna be. I've already told you, and you trying to argue back and forth about what it ain't and what it is.
Ooh-wee. All right, y'all.
Man. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't even know where to start on this here, right here, bro. I don't even know where to start. That is crazy. So I'm gonna say this. In this situation, is this what we doing, ladies? Now, this is what the move is, ladies. Now, y'all ladies is saying, oh, come on, I'll date a dude that's dating a dude. I mean, if that's what you like, I'm not knocking it. I have nothing against it. That's what you want to do. That I wouldn't, not me. But if that's what you want to do, then you have the right to do what you want to do. But the first question I want ladies to say is answer. I want y'all to, when y'all watch this video, is this what the move is? Is this what we that the world has come to now, to where, oh, okay, you are going crazy over a man so bad that you want a man so bad that you would accept him dating another man? That's where you coming from. And that's where y'all point of views is now. Like that's really where your point of view. So let me know if y'all agree with that, if y'all disagree. And then in this particular situation, I want to know, who would y'all think is right or wrong in this particular situation? Would she be wrong for still trying to stay with him, even though he want to go over here and play in the mud hole, or get his mud hole played in? He want to go over here and play. Somebody want to play in him. Either one. Was not leaving it. Was he wrong for not giving her more time, like she say, one-on-one time, and not always having him around? Was the other guy wrong for not goddamn respecting that relationship? Because it says it was her husband. So I'm assuming that they're obviously legally married when they say husband, and he's the added extension to the relationship. And was he not wrong for not going and saying, hey, look, man, I'm just a third wheel whenever y'all want to use me, and I'm gonna give y'all privacy? Who was wrong in this situation in y'all opinion when you watch that video? Now, my take, I think she crazy. I ain't got no right or wrong in it. I ain't got a right or wrong. I'm gonna tell you why I don't see a right or wrong. I ain't gonna say he wrong, she wrong, because from what I took from the video, he told her Said, hey, he was bringing the dude in. She accepted it. The dude could be doing the dude could be that look like from what you watched the video, seemed like the dude doing more than the woman is anyway. So now you got the woman, like you got this dude that's doing way more than that woman is, and her responsibilities are being her irresponsibilities are being highlighted because here come this guy that's coming in and doing all this, and this, and it is getting blocked out by the it is all his response, the things that he doing that you would think she would be doing is getting highlighted more that she don't do it because he's doing it. So it's showing the value of her is not even there to them. It's non-existent. She ain't paying the water bill, the electric bill, the rent. She ain't she's not cleaning, she's not cooking. And give it to him, he say she's not really having sex like that. So the value of her existing in their household is really non-existent to them, you know, because she's not really contributing nothing from that small 5-minute clip video to that relationship. Now, reason why I say they is crazy, she a fool. She a fool. A person is telling you blatantly they don't want you. They don't want you. You can leave. Go and pack your stuff and go. She's sitting there still trying to negotiate and argue about no. What the his family love me. You ain't dating his family. You're not dating his family. So what does it matter if his family love you? You're not dating his family. And so that's null and void. It doesn't even matter. So stop even trying to bring that up. Let that go. Now next, reason why I feel she don't want to leave. Why I feel she knows there ain't no other guy gonna let her lounge and be as lazy. Not even another woman would want to accept her. So she's gonna get X'd out from a guy and a woman. Now, I'm not saying that a guy won't have sex with her. That's something easy. But as far as her being able to walk in, throw a purse on the counter, sit down, go to the refrigerator, get something to drink, eat some food, go in and out and do whatever she want to do and come in. Ain't got to worry about the rent, the electric bill, all that. Ain't nobody else gonna put up with that. So now she got to go out there and fend for herself. So she crazy when somebody want to leave. And they crazy because if they want her to go, and if they let her talk them into letting her stay again, then that could turn into one of these stories. A story could be getting reported on them about something totally different because she might get so mad and fed up. You know, she could try to do something to the other dude that's making her look bad. That's a man doing all this cooking, cleaning, beer room activities, and so forth on. And this dude then came in and when she probably agreed to it, she thought it was gonna probably, well, this make my life easy. I'm cool with it. And not realizing, like, dog, this dude working to get you out of here. This dude working to get you out of here. Like baseball, I don't even know how many strikes they gave, but his goal was to come in, play the role, and get you out. And now he got your husband looking into his vision. And if the husband want to stay there with him, then that's fine. But he need to go on and just stick to the rules of say go, but not say, hey, if you're gonna stay, then you got to accept this person. Because we already see it's a problem with her accepting him now because she don't like it. And you see it. That's one of them things where they say when you see the red flags and you see the signs, take to the signs. Believe the signs. They are there. Believe them. They are there. Believe what you are seeing. But you going back playing that back and forth role, that's not going to get it. That's not going to get it. That can cause a problem down the line. Now, all these, man, there's going to be so many lonely women out here. You ain't gonna have nobody. The women, because you got the men getting taken by another man, and you got the women. Every woman don't want to date a woman. No matter how many, they might play around with a woman. They might play around with a woman, but every woman don't want to be with no woman. That's just the bottom line fact. Because most women don't want to put up with another woman attitude, that time how they be acting all itchy when they had that time of the month. And I ain't talking about scratching. I'm just don't want to. I'm trying to keep limit on using that B word. That itchy. They be acting itchy, but you put the B in front of it. They don't want to be act. They don't want to put up with that. They no woman. So this woman here in this video, she just don't realize that she's setting herself up for a failure moving forward, trying to force these people to accept her in this relationship. It's just not gonna go down like that, man. It's just not gonna go down like that. But I just can't. I can't believe that's where we at today. That's where we at today. That the relationship, women dating men that date men, and they might say, well, Mel, it was like you go back years, y'all as men like to date women that date women. Y'all love that. Y'all have no problem with that. Sadly, y'all right. A lot of men didn't have a problem with that and don't have a problem with that. But on record, it's been noted that I have said this. I still believe in I'm not knocking it, a man and a woman. I just believe in man and woman. That's it. I don't care what you choose to do. I don't have nothing against a person if they dating a man and a man, or if a woman dating a man, a woman and a woman. I still can talk with you and kick it and talk. That's your life. I don't give a fuck. You got to live your life. I don't have to live your life, so I can give two shits about it. But if you asking if I'm giving my opinion of how I feel about it, I feel that it's man and woman. That's how I feel. You can't make me same way you say you should love who you love. That's how you feel. Then I feel, hey, a man and woman. Now, if Ja was on the show, Ja be like, well, shoot, you got the men that's they on down low anyway. They messing with women. You know the reason why these women are doing these women are doing something. These gay trans people and all the gay people are doing some of the things that they do is because a woman supports it until it comes back and bite them in the butt of what they supporting. When you support that BS and then it comes back to bite you in the butt for supporting that BS, that's your fault. And you might say, Mel, how do we support it? How do we support it? How does it come back on us and be our fault? And I'm gonna show you how y'all support it. Let me show y'all how y'all support it. Because it starts when you're young. A lot of times when you're young. I'm gonna show y'all how y'all support it. All right, look at this. Now check this out here now.
Right here, man. Looking like a damn 14-year-old girl, man. Stop it, man. That's a damn shame, man. And then you got two girls who hyping them up. That's the problem with our women right there. They talk about.
Look at this right here now. See this right here, y'all? So you got two females. You got this female here. You got this female here. Then you got this guy right here. This is what the beginning looked like when y'all say, how is our fault? This is what the beginning looked like. This is what it starts at. This right here is where it starts at. Right here. When you look at this, this is where it starts at. Because of this right here. You get it, and y'all want to support this, and he's y'all, hey girl, and he's oh yeah. He got dang is all this, he can be a girl, let him live his life, let him be this, whatever. Man, get the fuck up out of here. Get the fuck up out of here. This man is a man. Oh, Ja want to come in now, y'all.
Don't do that.
Black people are always late, boy.
Listen, what's up, everybody? I totally forgot, but then I didn't.
Right? I just didn't have any faith that you were going to be on time. What are we looking at? Who is this?
This here is showing how it's women fault by y'all accepting this. Y'all
What is
accept
this?
this.
What is this?
This is two women with the guy that want to act like he claims he's a girl. This is where it starts with the gender, and then you get that one day. Then he grow up 10 years from now saying he's a better woman than you.
Well, so first of all,
Because this when they say where's the beginning,
everybody wants to blame. First of all, the black women ain't got no chance with us with the black men. Like y'all will blame us for everything. The sky can fall.
How can you dispute this guys on the screen?
Because the black woman believed that the sky was purple first, or she accepted that the sky was purple first, it fell, and it's because of her. That shit is crazy. First of all, you are your own individual person.
Hold on, Ja. Before you say that, explain to me what you're looking at on the screen. How can you deny that what you see on the screen?
I ain't got nothing to do with an individual person. And why am I at fault for what an individual chose to identify as?
No, you're not at fault for what they chose to identify. I'm not saying you are at fault for that. I am saying y'all accept this.
Why wouldn't I? That's him. That's who he wants to be. Why would I shun someone?
This? So then why don't y'all accept them when they say they better women than y'all?
Because that's not the same. I accept you for who you are. You want to be a woman. You want to identify as a woman. You want to dress like a woman. I am not about to knock you for that.
Okay.
Just like you want to wear a hat, somebody else don't think that you should wear a hat. You want to wear a beard, somebody else think you shouldn't wear a beard. I put weave in my hair now, so my uncle believed that I shouldn't wear weave. It doesn't matter. There's going to always be somebody that doesn't like what you do, what you put on, who you are, who you proclaim to be, what your persona is. Who gives a fuck?
You're right.
Like, I am only in control of me.
It's nothing wrong with you being who you want to be.
You and your homeboy are homeboys, y'all friends, but he like to cheat on his woman and you decided that's not what you want, but y'all still friends. That don't mean that you condone everything he does. That's
not
your
necessarily,
friend.
you can stop being friends with a person if you don't believe in that person.
But you don't, because that's your friend. Regardless of what he's doing, you don't condone it. I cannot be friends with somebody else too. But I decide to be their friend because I choose who they are versus what they decide what I don't like. I'm not supposed to like the sin, but that don't mean that I can't love the sinner. That's crazy.
You can't support the sin.
Who support just because I don't ridicule you? Just because I don't ridicule you does not mean that I support what you're doing. I'm your friend. I'm going to support you as a person. That doesn't mean that I have to support what you do.
But your support is the reason.
No, that is not.
My support is not the reason for it. Your support is part of the fuel that gives you what the people are seeing right here on the screen.
Well, if that's what he want to do, then that's what he want to do. The problem is that America wants to be everybody else's boss. There's too many Chiefs, no Indians, for one thing. Who gives a fuck what he wears? Who gives a fuck how he parades around? Just because you don't like it, then fucking well, stay in the house in a bubble.
Your women are the one that's complaining about the men.
I don't know. We don't complain about that. We don't complain about it, and we have opinions we only have opinions about the transgender women advising that they are more of a woman than we are when they cannot fully identify. No. It don't start there.
How can you
start with you, straight man. It starts with straight men.
Whoa, hold on.
Wait a minute. Let's be honest.
Start that over. I want to hear this clearly.
Okay. It starts with you, straight men.
Okay.
Because you leave your families for these transgender women. And they believe that when you leave your girl for them, that they are a better woman than the biological woman. It's not because we support how they dress and how they want to be perceived. It's because there are more straight men fucking transgender women and leaving their homes and their families for these transgender women. That's where it starts. Okay. You straight men have created that foundation and made them comfortable enough to feel like they are better than we are. And that is the reason why. because you leave your families for these women, for these transgender women. You are on the DL and you will live your DL life as long as they won't tell.
Okay. So you say, make sure I'm gonna say that I'm gonna ask you back. You say it starts with the men.
Yep.
A heterosexual man
Yeah. Well,
leaving
he
and
proclaims to be
going to
heterosexual,
a
but yet he's out here sleeping with
transgender.
men.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me get it up. Now, let me finish. And that the heterosexual male mixes with a transgender woman, and they think that since that man left his woman and went the transsexual, that they're a better woman because that man came to them. So it's the heterosexual man fault.
Absolutely.
That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So first thing about
Get out. Get out.
the first thing you just gotta remember, there's no way it can be a heterosexual man fault because if
Okay.
a man going out there messing with a trans woman, trans woman, he's not heterosexual. He's gay.
That's not what he identifies as though.
He's not. No. He's gay. It ain't no in between. You just to be heterosexual. That means you only mess with women.
No.
That's what heterosexual is.
Because I understand what it means, but until that man comes out and he's DL, he identifies as heterosexual, baby.
No.
And some of them
Heterosexual
don't
is
even identify
only mess with
because they believe that woman is a woman.
You only mess with straight women. Okay, now if you just said he messing with that woman because he believes he's a woman. Now you saying if this heterosexual male does not know that that's a woman?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Does not know that that's a man?
That's not what I'm saying.
So you saying he know that that's is a man?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then he's not heterosexual then.
That's not how you believe it.
There's no way, Ja. How can you?
That's not how I'm just telling you the truth. That's not how they look at it.
Ja. It don't matter how they look at it. That's like a person saying a cat. If they see a cat, they feel like they're a cat. That don't mean they're a cat. Just because you feel.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm telling you is
how they think they want to look at it all day. But the more down to it, if you a heterosexual male only likes women, just like a heterosexual woman only likes men. There's no other way. It's no ifs, ands, and buts about it.
I was watching Love and Hip Hop.
Okay.
And Mimi had come out and said that she was dating this girl. Remember the girl she was dating? Do you watch Love and Hip Hop?
No, I don't get into Love and Hip Hop.
Okay, so she came out and told everybody that she was dating a woman. And so they're like, oh, so you're a lesbian. She was like, no. They was like, what you mean you're a lesbian? And she was like, well, so-and-so, the girlfriend, identifies as a man. So technically, I'm not les. That just gives some insight on the mentality of people. Just because you see it that way, they don't see it that way.
Ja, but what I'm trying to explain to you, that still doesn't mean she is a lesbian. Just because she try to say whatever she got to say to justify what she want to justify doesn't change the fact that, baby, you're a lesbian. If I walk around here and say I'm a dog, and you say, no, you're not a dog. You ain't no dog. And say, yes, it's doing all, say I'm a dog. You hear me barking? Watch me lift
that was your DMX bark. Do it again.
So now you're gonna say, oh yeah, he really is a dog. Just look at him. He a dog. It don't matter. That does not matter just because she got down and say
that. I'm telling you how it goes. And I'm telling you that there are straight men that marry women and leave their homes for transgender women.
Okay, let's do this. Let's clarify this right here now on the I Am Millman podcast. You are not a heterosexual individual if you are dating the same sex. We gonna put that clarification out. That way we get rid of that whole clarification.
Okay.
It's not an assumption. And mailman let you know now. If you are not, you can't say, "Oh, I'm a heterosexual straight man." I only, even though I know that this person is a trans woman, but they act like a woman and they dress like a woman and all this. But so that makes me a straight man. No, you're not. Let's muddy the waters no more. We finna got there and throw some chlorine in here, some shock in here, and make this pool water clear again. People don't understand. Stop trying to blur the lines. So that's gonna be said on the Mailman I Am Mailman podcast. That no, heterosexual mean a woman dates a man dates a woman. That's what makes you heterosexual. If you're a woman dating or messing with a woman, you're a lesbian. Just because your girlfriend say she a man, she's not a man. She's a woman. Just because you got man and one man doesn't make she's a one man. Doesn't mean she's a man. She's a woman. She's a lady. She's a female. That's what she is. Just because you got male and female doesn't mean she's a full on male. So that muddy water is clear now. We got that clear.
That's why transgender women believe that there are more women than us.
I'm a big diff on that because
you can listen to their podcast.
Huh?
You can listen to their podcast. You can listen to even the video I sent you the other day. When we were on the podcast the last time.
I don't have to listen to somebody else try to make me believe that they're a damn man and they're a woman.
No, I'm talking about
they're a woman and they're really a man. I don't have no comments.
I'm talking about why they believe that they're more of a woman than us.
They believe they're more of a woman because they damn fools.
They believe they're more woman than we are because our men leave for them.
The man left because he gay. That's just a point blank period.
But sometimes they don't leave, Reggie.
You're right. Well, sometimes you're right. They don't leave. You're exactly right. Just like that video I just played about the woman that didn't want to leave.
The one I sent you?
Yep, the one you sent me. So you're right. Sometimes they don't leave, but it does. And in my opinion, it starts because of what you see right here on the screen. They want to. He.
It don't start right there though. That's sad to say, but it don't.
And look at this, like
it don't start with us.
Look at this. She gonna come over there to try to defend.
They want a good man, but they hype up niggas being homosexuality, man. That don't make any damn sense, bro. You got a little ass across the track. I know. We calling our asses out. Come on, man. Look at this.
Like you told her, he calling them out.
But guess what? And I bet you when he go home, he gonna be calling the dude talking about come over and see me.
I'm not gonna let you put that on that man because we don't know that man like that. We ain't got you can't throw that on that man's name like that. You can't throw that on his name like that because you don't know.
I bet my bottom dollar on it.
How you gonna bet he can say that you over there licking pussy?
I could be.
That ain't. Matter of fact,
but I ain't the one that got the problem with it.
Hold on. We didn't say he could. He could just make it a factual statement that you licking pussy because
he could.
He go home. He gonna be calling a man like you know.
But guess what? I ain't the one with the problem. He is.
It ain't got nothing to do with it. It's a problem because we point out the issue of why the problem.
To shame other people. To shame other people. And then when they go kill themselves, when they kill themselves, y'all have a problem.
Ain't nobody got no problem with being a person being gay. That is no problem with a person being gay. You can be gay. That ain't nobody got a problem with that. That is not a problem at all. And we make that clear every consistent day. There is not a problem with that. But the problem is you don't have these men, it's no longer men, and then you got these guys that want to be females thinking that they better women than women or so forth on.
That's because
you're wondering where it starts from. Well, that just shows you where it starts from.
And don't start from there.
That's a damn good reference point.
Nah.
We're gonna move on to this next subject, y'all. So let's keep it moving. If in the same thing, we're gonna go. Why do women want to bring kids into this world without fathers and instantly take that chance away from them and making them taking a chance of them being productive citizens for their own selfish reasons? Why y'all women
take from them for being? Do you believe that all fathers that raise children raise them to be productive citizens in the world? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying all fathers do. I'm just
okay. So, well, I'm
saying,
not understanding what you're
I'm
saying
saying,
right now.
how do you instantly just make a decision before having a baby? Saying, "Hey, I want to have a baby," but the father don't have to be part of the life. Me and my girlfriend gonna raise them, and think that is that's a good idea. Like one guy,
Sometimes women don't have a father. Sometimes they get artificially
not
inseminated because
like
they want a kid.
say that again.
Some of them don't have a baby with a father. Some of them get
Sperm
artificially
donors would be
inseminated.
good. You a sperm donor, a sperm bank is pretty good. Okay, that's fine. You still doing it, but if you want to actually go out here and recreate with a person and lay down, but then tell the daddy he don't have to be a part of life. We can't get attached.
Sometimes, to be honest with you, the girlfriend could be a better figure than that father. Like, I think that we have to. This is a conversation that can't just be had in a such a narrow spectrum, you know, because a lot of things play in the part. Can you see me?
I see you.
For instance, like, I can tell you this, for a long time, my son's father wasn't hitting on nothing, but he had dated this woman. He dated this woman who loved my son like he was hers, and because she saw that his father was not active, they separated. But she still, and again, he wasn't doing his part, but she still would call every day, check on my son. She would FaceTime him. She'll call me during school, or when school starts, and she'll be like, "Hey, does he need anything? Does he need school supplies?"
Problem. I'm not disagreeing with that. That's no problem. She used to date his dad. That's not an issue on that.
She wasn't the baby's dad. She was his ex-girlfriend.
But she dated his dad.
But she wasn't dating him anymore.
But it doesn't matter. She had an attachment to that child. So
yeah, but the dad didn't. Do you see what I'm going with that?
I get that. I mean, he was just a no good ass daddy. That's how that
okay, was. So what I'm saying is that he's not just one in a stack of 5 or 10. There's a lot of men out here like that.
But okay,
and then they scream and holler, "Oh, you got me on child support. It's either child support or you get me," which is stupid as fuck, because child support don't be nothing but like 10% of your check, 5% in some states. So it don't really compensate your presence.
25%.
No, it's not.
Yes, it's not.
In Mississippi, it's 17%. In South Carolina, I think it's like 5 or 10. In Georgia, the percentage depends on the child care and insurance and all the other stuff, because they do all that after you're legitimized. But in most states, it's not that much.
It's still a good little print. But before we jump into that, let's watch this.
Well, my situation's a little bit different than everybody else's. So, like, I'm in an open relationship with a woman, but we're kind of like looking for sperm donors. So that's really why I'm on here, to be honest.
Oh, so you have a girlfriend?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you're looking for a guy that can get you pregnant?
Basically, I guess, yeah, pretty much.
Would you be the person getting pregnant, or would she be the person getting pregnant?
I would be the person getting pregnant, yeah.
And you said sperm donor, so you want his sperm, but he won't have to be a father to the child.
Basically, so it's a little sticky, because that's what I don't want that, but my girlfriend, she's like, yeah, I just want somebody who's just gonna have, impregnate and kind of leave you alone. But I could care less either way it goes, to be honest.
Okay. I'm trying to think, has anyone ever had this request? I don't think everyone came over with the particular, you don't want to date this man. You just want to have sex to procreate.
Well, you see, that's the thing. I personally, I want to get to know the person. I need to know all about them a little bit before I just create life with them. So in a way, I do want to spend time at least getting to know them before I just have a baby with them. But after that, they like really can't be attached. Like, we could be cool and all, but they can't be like, that's my baby, or I'm gonna take my baby. Like, being petty, drama, all of that. Yeah, no.
Well, it's a surrogacy process. Yours is a little different, but you obviously would have to have paperwork. But now I want you to and me living in California now is surrogacy is a very we're gonna do yoga and then I'm gonna be my surrogate. Like it's very common in California. Not common around the world though. And I do want you to respond to this because people will say you're trying to create a baby without a father. And how do you and that's wrong. And that will be something that I will definitely see in the comments. So what do you say to people that would feel like it's unfair to intentionally create a child that's not gonna have a father?
I mean, I feel like I have a lot of men in my life that could be father like roles to my child. I feel like they don't necessarily need a father because that's just like a lot of I'm not even about to comfort half the people, but a lot of women who come on your show, they're like, oh, I have a baby daddy, but they don't have to worry about him because he ain't around. At least, it's still going to be a 2-parent household. They're still going to be showered in love. So I could really care less about anybody who says that it's selfish or not a good thing to bring a child in this world without a father, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. So are there any attributes you desire for your sperm donor?
Yes. Okay. So I just want them to be attractive. Like I need to know history.
All right. So now you see what she said. She wanna just bring in a child and just remove that out the way from child life. And just her girlfriend really wants that. She don't really care. But you can't get too attached. You can't. Now I will say this in my opinion. I think. Oh, John, this is not a kid show. This is not no kid show.
Don't you think I know that?
So why you got a kid on the show?
Why I got the baby on the show?
Yes, we talking grown folks talk.
I understand that, but he's just 10 months.
No. See, that's the first problem.
Give me a second. You don't even know what's going on. Just calm down. I got this. And you were on mute and the camera was off, so calm down.
No. Yes, we're gonna have to bring. Let me know when you're ready. We're gonna have to bring Job back up. So in that conversation, what she's saying that she don't want her girlfriend doesn't want nobody to be a part of their relationship, but she don't really care if he is there. But then she say you can't get emotionally attached and don't come back saying that you're gonna take the baby and I want this and so forth on. Well, first, in my opinion, you'll be a fool to give your sperm to her. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of guys out here that already do it. They make babies and leave and get the hell on. So she won't have no problem with finding a guy that would definitely come through and hit it and keep the hell on moving and throw a baby in her. And he ain't got a guy that ain't take care of the responsibility. She's not gonna have no problem finding that. That's gonna be super simple and super easy. Let's see if Job back here. You done now?
Mm-hmm.
We got a grown folks conversation. You over here, goddamn.
You have to understand that I'm a foster parent, and then I also have people in my house, so they're not aware of all of that. So when the kids come in and there's one that's sick or choking or whatever, all I did was open the medicine and give it to them. You got to give me a second. I had you on mute and I cut the camera off, but I have a lot of other responsibilities too. Thanks.
Well,
I'm an emergency placement home, so I don't always know when I want to get kids.
Well, if y'all need a place to stay, y'all can always go to Jai House.
Come on.
Yeah, that's number one. The doors are open
all the time.
So in this situation with her, talking about her girlfriend, like I was just saying a minute ago, her girlfriend don't want just give her sperm and I give it sperm and get the hell on, and she don't really care. In my opinion, I feel like a dude that's really doing something that got morals, he'll be a fool to get his sperm to this woman.
Why?
Why is a guy that's got something that's got morals about itself and understand being a part of your child's life is very important. The child needs both parents that created him to be able to. if they are to show them two different sides of life. And this man has self-respect about himself if he create a child for him to go out there and raise that child. So why would you give your sperm to her now? Granted, like I just said a second ago, will she be able to find somebody that'll just give her some sperm and throw a baby in her and walk away and he ain't got to take no responsibility just to hit it? Yes. She ain't gonna have no problem with that. I'm pretty sure her inbox is lined up with guys. Hey, I give you a baby. I give you a baby. But a guy that's got self-respect and morals for himself, man, ain't nobody finna give. Ain't no man finna give her no.
Um, I don't believe that because
Eat it.
no, and I don't because for several reasons. But for the first reason, there's a million sperm banks around here. Maybe not a million. I may be over exaggerating. I may be under exaggerating. And they are filled with doctors and lawyers and entrepreneurs and engineers and all kind of people with that are geniuses with high IQs, and they literally donate their sperm to women they will never know.
Yeah.
And they procreate, they are making babies. They could have 25. You remember that guy, the doctor who is artificially inseminating all these women with his sperm, and he ended up having like what, about 30 kids.
God.
Imagine somebody in a sperm bank that, you know how much.
Well, he was just a low life.
No, he actually was.
If he was inseminating women with his sperm and he didn't,
He was doing it because the fathers wasn't able to, and these women wanted all these children. The only thing that made him weird to me is the fact that he actually kept up with all these kids. Every last one of the
ask
kids.
for his sperm. Did
Huh?
the ladies ask for his sperm specifically, or was
No. He was a doctor at the They made a movie about it. You never seen the movie?
I think I heard about it because I think he was just using his sperm just to get to the women, but they didn't ask for his sperm. They
No,
went
no,
to
no.
the sperm bank.
They were coming in, and their husbands were supposed to. They were supposed to do this with their husbands, but their husband's sperm count was so low, and their husbands were the reason why they couldn't make babies. And so in what he did was
Pick it up on his own self and say, "Oh, well, I just used mine."
right. He wanted to. He wanted to.
He's a weirdo then.
I don't think he was a weirdo. I just think that
I'm
he
not
was
sure.
trying to. I think that he took his job a lot more serious than, or not so serious. I think he cared more than what he was supposed to. So he wasn't trying to be facetious because he wasn't telling them that these were, that he gave them his sperm as in place of their daughters or their children. I can't remember what happened that made it come out.
Okay, so how would this look? My black ass going here to have a baby with my black woman. So I'm expecting a nice chocolate ass baby to come out. But here I come out with this light ass goddamn child.
But that happens that happens sometimes in families that like that. I got two dark skinned cousins that had a redhead, light skinned baby, and they got a DNA test and the baby was his.
But that's hold on. That hold on. I'm not excusing. That's weird.
Okay, well, we're getting off the subject, so we'll talk about that later off camera.
Well, okay,
so
yeah, you're
so
right.
what I'm saying is that
I just feel like no.
there's a lot of men that do it now, though. So I'm not understanding what's the difference. What's the difference between going?
What she wants, she don't want to go to a sperm bank.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, what is the difference? How does that differ?
For me as a man, I don't want to just go out here and just give my sperm to this random woman.
But people do it all the time. That's what sperm banks are. It's a man giving random women his sperm to inseminate them to have children.
I'm not.
So the only difference is
I never went to a sperm bank and did that like that.
The only difference is that she wants to do it a little more naturally than the sperm bank. But she's doing the same thing. And it's her choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a choice.
Well, you're right.
have
It is a choice, and I just think a man would be crazy if he choose to do that.
That's crazy, man.
And I just feel like a man.
So it's okay to go to a sperm bank, but it's not okay to do it naturally.
You know, I never been to a sperm bank, so it never even crossed my mind on our 41 years of living to go to a sperm bank.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not speaking on you. I'm speaking
So,
on your opinion of the whole sperm bank versus natural.
when I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm not even thinking about the sperm bank aspect of it because.
But you should, because that's all he is. All she's asking for is a sperm bank. She's not asking for any relations other than that. She's not asking for a relationship, for the possibility of being a single parent versus from the father. She's not asking any of that.
Well, I'll put it this way. Any respectable man that want to be a part of his child and be a man to his child and understand that it takes both parents, they're not going to the sperm bank either.
That's not true. That's not true. Do you not know that? Do you not know that there are men that have actual families, are married with children, and have their sperm in a sperm bank?
Okay, let me ask you this. Though. Did they go in a time when don't they get paid for that?
Yeah, sometimes, but some people just donate.
Let me see if people get paid for. Hold on.
They do, but some donate as well.
Get paid for. Let's see. Okay, so they said on average, sperm donors are paid between $120 per donation visit. Donating 1 to 2 times per week, donors earn on an average of $4,000 in 6 months. So it's not a lot of money, but
some people donate. Some people don't get paid. Some people go in and say, "I just want to donate."
Okay, let me see. Is donating sperm a good way to make money? You'll get $100 cash for each approved donation you offer, and about 90% of our donations are approved, and you can donate several times per week. It is an excellent way to make steady money while helping others start and add to their family. So, I guess the question would be, what's the percentage of people do it for free? Okay, let me see, because I think it's the money incentive that's why.
No, because there are some people that, like I said, that are doctors and lawyers and geniuses that don't need the money. And when you go to a sperm bank, you get to, just like how the lady was asking her, what is your criteria? You go to the sperm bank and you do the same thing. I want a blue-eyed, blonde-haired baby with the IQ of blase blase, or you know what I'm saying? Like there's a checklist.
Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna see what they say. I'm gonna see what Google say. We know Google don't know everything, but we're gonna see what's the basics. What percentage of men donate sperm? Only 4% of men who want to give their sperm actually do. So it's real low. They're saying only 4%. So that's low. So like I was saying just a minute ago, most men ain't gonna go do it. If you do
4% out of what? How?
Only 4% of men who want to give sperm actually do. So only 4% of them. So if you had
But you just read something that said
what?
4% is how much? Because there are too many sperm banks. There's too many sperm banks out here.
Because
there's too many sperm banks out here for it to just be a little. You know what I'm saying?
You say it again.
There's too many sperm banks around the world for it to only be 4%.
That's what Google's saying. Only 4% of men who wants to give sperm actually do. Now I'm
Oh,
looking.
oh, they're saying 4% of the men that actually want to.
Okay, let me see. Who donates sperms the most? Clyde Davis claims to have fathered 129 children with
I
men
told you.
on the YA. But that's one man that did it.
That's Clyde Davis,
I mean,
though.
I'm sorry. I'm not Clyde Davis. Clive Jones.
Okay.
Okay, Clive Jones claims to have fathered 129 children with 9 more on the way. A retired math teacher from the UK says he is the world's most prolific sperm donor. Clive Jones claims to have fathered 129 children. So we know that people do it, but
30,000 to 60,000 people a year. Though advocates push back even on that range, saying that there are no dependable figures because there is no regulation.
okay. Let me see. This says most sperm banks aren't interested in white donors who aren't at least 5 feet 9 inches because most of their clients don't want them. But the bar is lower for members of ethnic groups that tend to be shorter. And given a purposeful lack of African American donors, height
Mhm.
may not be a disqualifier for black donors. So that lets you know that's
Okay, so you were thinking, so
black
that
people
4%
don't.
you were talking about is out of is 4% out of 100 men, each 100 men.
So that's only 4 men out of 100. So that tell you nine,
No,
96.
out of each 100 that comes to donate. So there, let's say that 100 people come to donate. Out of that first 100 people, out of those first 100 persons, only 4% donate, and then there's another 100 that comes in.
I know. So that's only 4 people out of every
But
100.
it says 30 to 60,000 people a year.
But my thing is trying to say, look how small the number is.
It's not really small if you're saying 30 to 60,000 people a
That's not
year.
a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
Ja, when I'm saying comparing to the world of how
A year. That is in the world. That's a year. That's a national. That was a national
Ja,
database. Okay,
listen, when I'm trying to
you got
tell
it.
you, four
What
percent.
I'm saying is that 30 to 60,000 people is enough to say it happens. There's a sperm bank here, and people go out here and are single parents all by choice or whatever, and it's not unheard of.
I'm
The
not saying
difference
this.
the
I'm not saying
difference
that it's
is
not
today
unheard
this
of.
lady
What I'm saying,
says that she
you
wants.
ask me why do I think a man should not give his sperm? He'll be a
I don't
fool.
understand that because let's say that the other woman can't have kids, but she wants a child, and they're in this relationship together. We don't know what her story is, what her girlfriend's story is. She knows she wants a kid, but maybe she can't have children. Maybe something happened to her horrific when she was growing up.
Why not
We
adopt?
don't know.
Why not adopt?
Why would she want to adopt when she wants something that's an extension of of the woman that she's with? You see
But
what I'm saying? She
I get
wants an extent. She wants. That's just like saying, why not go get a mutt if I can breed my own dog, or you know what I'm saying? Like that don't make sense to me.
but see, the thing is, like I say, like my host, what I'm standing
When
on
you adopt children, you're literally adopting a whole 100% stranger. First of all, adopting is hard. It's not hard. I'm sorry. It's hard. Being a foster parent is hard because again, you're inviting someone in your home that you know nothing about. You don't know what their makeup is. Their parents could be ex murderers and you don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge, a larger step than I think going to the sperm bank or vetting this guy that you don't know to have a kid with. You know what I'm saying? Like I think you can't vet a foster kid like that. You and I'm telling you, like I had one who was diagnosed bipolar, mood disorder. I didn't even know there was a such thing as a mood disorder. Mood disorder. He was skicks, off his meds. Like we could be driving down the road and he punches my airbags. He totaled two of my cars, punching the airbags, and they exploded just because out of the blue he just conjured up something. Mood disorder. I tell him no for something, he punches holes in my wall. One day he was just sitting there doing homework. He was fine, listening to music, dancing, chilling, rapping, whatever. And next thing you know, he started punching the walls.
I get it. I'm not saying that it's
You were
not.
asking why not adopt, and I'm saying like
I get it.
adopting,
It's
you can't
established.
vet the
I'm trying to
kid.
say this is my stance for me. No self-respecting man that wants to make sure that he had if I'm gonna give you
There's
my
not even a large percent of that.
huh
All these, there's not even a large percentage of that
of what
of men who want to be a part of their kids' lives.
you said
Not
that's
saying
not a large percentage of. So what you're saying, there's not a lot of men that want to be part of their kids' life.
there's more percentage of men that walk away from their kids and their families than there is that are involved in their children's
No,
lives.
no.
Look it up.
Disagree. It's a lot of families. I don't care
Look
what
it up.
say. I don't care about no
Look it
statistics.
up.
I don't care about statistics. It's a lot.
Oh, okay. You don't care about statistics. You
I
you
don't.
just
Not in
gonna
this
go with what you
situation.
think.
Not in
Okay,
this
got it.
situation. No, it's a
Mm.
lot now because I see it. I
You can
see
see it, but that don't mean that they're the large percentage. That
I
doesn't mean that
see it.
they're the
I know it's a
majority.
lot of great
I
fathers.
see single parents. I see parents that have kids out of
I see
artificial
it's a
insemination.
lot of women
I
that
see a
withhold
lot of stuff.
the kids and keep the kids from the fathers.
And you don't know why, but then if you turn on the news, you see fathers killing their kids. You see
You're
them.
right.
You see them chaining their children to the car and burning and lighting the car on
You also
fire.
see women
You
doing it
see
too.
them cutting the kids up and putting them in the
You see
garbage
women doing
can,
that too.
and you wonder why the mom
But
kept the kid
okay,
away.
so what about the women that do it? Because women do it too.
Absolutely,
So that's
absolutely.
why I say it ain't.
So what I'm
It's a
saying
lot of
is,
great. It's a lot
so
of
what
great
I'm saying
fathers.
ain't no gray area. And what I'm saying is that regardless of what, there's still fucked up people in the world. Regardless of how you look at it, there's still fucked up fathers who don't want to be a part of their kids' lives.
It's fucked
We're
up.
not talking about the mothers. At this point,
That's what
our
I'm saying.
stance was about
I'm not just gonna let them put the
why
narrative
should that
out there
no
like it's fucked
respectable
up fathers.
man
And I know
would
it's a lot
donate
of
his
good fathers out
sperm?
there. There's a lot of great fathers out there.
Absolutely, never said there wasn't.
But so when we try,
But there's a lot of them that ain't great either.
you're right. But I think it's
Okay,
more.
so the point is
It's more
that
great fathers than this.
she could talk to you could flip a coin. The point is that I don't there shouldn't be an issue with this lady deciding that she want to have a kid with a man and raise that child with two moms. What's the and not have to deal with the bullshit or the possibility of a man not wanting to be a part of her kid's life. That's her decision. That's her
It is
choice.
her decision. I'm not saying she had a right to her decision.
And I don't think that child's gonna grow up fucked up because she don't have a father in her life,
I'm
or
saying
he don't have a father in his life.
any man out there should not just give his sperm to this woman
That's how you feel.
just because she want to have a baby and walk away and say, "Hey, just give me your sperm, but me and this woman over here gonna raise the child, but you can go on about your day."
It
Again,
happens all the time.
I,
Sometimes men volunteer you in that situation. They volunteer you. They give you a baby. They don't want to be a part of it. What's the difference?
I'm not again. I'm not saying that she ain't gonna have a. You know how many dudes probably have seen that video and lined up like, "Hey, I do it.
I'm sure of that. But what I'm saying is, what's the difference between her saying, "Hey, I don't even want you to be a part of the life," and a man saying, "Hey, I don't want to be a part of this child's life"?
Because that man,
What's worse?
hold on, let me show you the difference. The man that said he don't want to be a part of his life, he no good and ain't about it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But the man that got,
but what's the difference though?
The man that say, "Goddamn, if I'm gonna give you my sperm, I want to be part to help make sure I guide this child in the best way I possibly can as well. I want to contribute to this child's life and this child's success as much as I can."
Yeah, but so you telling me that the men that donate in the sperm bank are ain't shit niggas because they or ain't shit guys because they donate and they want to help somebody procreate, knowing that they can't possibly have kids?
They're doing it for money.
No.
Most time they doing it for money.
No. How can you say that? You don't even know that. You haven't even researched it enough to say that. That's your opinion.
You're right. This is my opinion.
That's your opinion, man. That's crazy to fit your narrative. You can't do that.
I'm not trying to make nothing fit.
You don't have no facts.
These people, these guys are mostly doing it because it's
no, they are not.
They're
not.
Jai,
no,
you're gonna have a few that
might. You ain't got the facts, man. You can't get on here and speak stuff that's not factual.
They getting paid.
You can't speak stuff that's not factual. You haven't done enough research to even speak on that.
I'm standing on that.
You can stand on it, but you standing on an opinion and not facts.
Money.
Yep. You standing on opinions, and I need the word. Y'all need to know that he has not researched this enough.
They doing
to give you the facts on that. He is giving you his opinion that he is standing on. His opinionated stance is that they do it for the money.
Yes.
For $120. That's it.
Also,
just $120. That's all they're doing. They just donate plasma and get more than that.
My
That's
stance is
fucking lie.
also this too, though. My stance is also that there's a lot of
Mhm.
great fathers out there.
And
Yeah.
there's a lot of them that's not.
I'm not saying you. I'm not
Okay,
disagreeing
well then
that
we
it's
don't
not.
need. Well, what's the
But
point of that?
if I'm going off of a percentage scale,
You ain't got no percentage. You said you didn't care about the facts.
if I'm going off a percentage scale, I'm gonna say that the scale is gonna be higher. You got greater fathers.
You don't know that. So again, you're speaking on opinions. Your podcast is supposed to be standing on facts. And if you ain't got no facts for it, you
I
can't
have
speak
seen
that.
a lot of great fathers.
That's you got to find. Give me the facts.
I have seen.
I'm straight facts. Charles Dickens. I want facts. I don't want no opinions.
5% because they
Don't
try
give me no opinions. Give me facts.
That's a situation like this. They try to make polls and say, "Oh, the black household only XY 5% of the fathers are in the household or are in the child's lives," and that's a lie. It's
You
not.
don't know how you know that's a lie. Where your facts at?
Ja, if I don't control the
Nah, I'm asking for facts. Don't give me no opinions. Give me facts.
Yeah, but you know how I go by my facts. When I go out and I see all these great fathers,
That don't mean nothing.
I see all these great fathers spending time.
And guess what? Half of the time, you don't even know if they're biological fathers or if they're stepfathers. You don't know.
I don't know.
Right, so you don't have the facts.
I don't know if they biological.
Right.
But
so you don't have the facts,
I'm not
Reggie.
gonna sit here and
There are a lot of stepfathers out here. There are a lot of men out here that have stepped up to take care of other men's children.
I'm not
because biological
on
fathers have not stepped up.
I'm
So
not
you
gonna
don't have the facts. If
disagree
you
with
go out in this world and you see a man with a child, that don't necessarily mean that is his biological child.
I'm not gonna sit there and say you're right. That does not mean that. But what I will say is I have seen a lot of great fathers throughout my years.
Absolutely.
And that
but we don't know
and
that
I had
they are
also
biological or if
I
they're
was hanging with my homeboy because he wasn't taking care of his kids.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. It is good and bad fathers out here as well, but we have a lot of good ones.
We do. And some of them are stepfathers.
Any man that's want to be an actual father should donate his sperm to a woman. Like just say, here go my sperm, and then cut his life out from that child. And just say, y'all go ahead and raise that child. I don't agree with that.
That's on you.
I got a stance on that to know. All right, y'all, we're going to move on to this next topic. We're going to jump off into this next topic here. Now, this one going here is going into police brutality. Now, this going to probably hit a nerve. She, popo, y'all.
Shut up. You get on my nerves.
She part of the boys in the blue, y'all. So she probably y'all gonna probably hear a lot of cutback on this one, y'all. Oh, whoa, let's see where this about to go. Cause see, we going in a whole
you get over. You do something like to boil my blood. You love to see me.
Oh boy, nah, let's see what you gonna say about this.
Wait a minute, now which one is this? Is this the one about the guy in Atlanta?
Nah, this about the guy in Florida that beat the woman.
Did you see the one in Atlanta where APD tased the guy for jacking off in the restaurant in front of everybody?
Hold on, what happened? Hold on, if I pull up hold on, let me close this out. You said what now?
So there was a guy in the restaurants. He was going to he was at the Starbucks downtown and a couple of other places, and he was going to restaurants and jacking off. And so I think they found him at the Wendy's or whatever. I can't remember which store it was, but he was jacking off in the lobby, like sitting down, just jacking off in front of people. And so APD got there and they said they tased him.
Oh, I'm all with APD on this. I ain't got no APD would not get no backlash from me on that.
Absolutely not.
So that right there, I'm with them. That's the time they actually did their job.
Don't you do that?
I'm just saying.
APD show up. Don't do that. APD show up. And they do that. Don't do that.
I broke my damn truck. Them motherfuckers told me, sir, really ain't no point of us coming out there.
I mean, it's the truth. I mean, what they gonna do?
I'm just saying, they supposed to be the police. They supposed to come.
But what they supposed to do? They supposed to protect your property. What they supposed to do?
They got to come get fingerprints.
You could have asked for fingerprints if you felt like they touched your doorknob and stuff like that.
They got to come do the little forensic, the CSI.
Not necessarily. Like, did you call after you drove the car and stuff?
Yeah.
That's why. So after you done drove the car and everything, you done contaminated everything. So ain't no fingerprints.
Yeah.
Ain't no forensics, boo.
Got our ass off their phone. Said, "Sir, we on our way to come bring our lab technician."
Hell nah, you lie. That's a joke.
It ain't no point of
That's a joke because y'all don't understand that. People don't understand. Like you You that's a crime scene, and then you come on there and you like, let me drive my car to the store and I'm coming right back. Damn, you done fucked up the crime scene now. You done there put your fingerprints all over the damn doorknob and everything. This is not TV.
I just said, man, have a good day. It ain't nothing. It ain't even no more.
And then let me ask you this: did you leave your car unlocked?
It ain't no point of us conversating no more.
Let me ask you: did you leave the car unlocked? How that got in the car?
My door's unlocked.
Oh, okay. Dumb move number 2. So listen,
they still
breaking your car. You told them to come on in.
That don't. You gotta
come on in the room.
I don't walk. I walk by people's cars out there, and I keep my hands to myself.
Yeah, you do, but that don't mean the criminals going to.
I don't steal nobody's shit. This shit is crazy. All right, y'all. We're gonna jump into this right here, kind of this right here. We're gonna see what y'all think about this. My guy, Dr. Rashad Ritchie, man, this guy here is dope, man. I like this guy, man. I ride with 85% of the stuff he say. All right.
Oh Lord, he get on my nerves sometimes.
Black woman attacked by Fort Lauderdale cops.
They know Florida racist anyway.
The officer says, no. He was attacked. Got the video. We have updates. We have the exclusive. Here it is.
4 Zulu Lima.
Oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing.
How you doing? You got an ID on you, man?
This is so amazing. Why am I giving my ID?
Because I asked for it.
Because you asked.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I no longer feel comfortable because I don't even have a.
Now the first mistake, he can't just walk up and ask for somebody's ID. First mistake.
He can go walk up and ask her for her ID.
No, he can't.
Yes, he can. He just pulled her over. What are he supposed to do?
He didn't pull her over. She was already just sitting in the parking space, and he just pulled up behind her.
Right, but that don't even like a parking space.
No, she's sitting in the parking space waiting on a friend.
Rewind it back. Rewind it back. That's not a parking space.
There it is. She parked right there. She parked next to that car. That's a park. That's one
okay.
parked in. That's another parking space right here.
Okay.
All right.
Do you hear this, Mom? I don't even have a problem with ID.
Because I asked for it.
Because you asked.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I no longer feel comfortable because I don't even have a problem.
Okay, well, I'm asking you for ID. If you don't produce it, I'm going to take you to jail. Okay, so let me see your ID.
Do you hear this, Mom? Do you hear this, Mom? I'm waiting on my friend, and now I'm about to get arrested because I'm
not going to ask you again.
ID.
I'm not going to ask you again.
Do you hear this, Mom? He's not giving me a problem. Or what did I do wrong? What did I do? These people can kill me, Mom.
Hi there, I'm Jeff Foxworthy, and over the course of my career, I've been asked to endorse a lot of things, and to be honest,
I'm going to show you the rest of the video and the injuries that she sustained. I want to remind you that this was not even a traffic stop in the traditional sense. Miss Cooper was waiting for her friend to join her so they could celebrate her birthday at the beach. She was just waiting there. All right? That's it. When Deputy Stephen decided to pull up, Deputy Stephen Davis decided to pull up and said, give me your identification. After she hesitated, which is understandable, he forcefully pulled her out of the car. After the altercation, she was charged with resisting arrest and battery on an officer. Nothing about traffic, nothing about a citation for pull-off. Here's the next video.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you one more time, and then I'm going to pull you out of the car, okay?
You're not pulling me out of nothing. Sorry, please. Why are you being aggressive? Were you going to fight me? You're not going to fight me. What are you doing? Stop. Stop. Bro, you're not gonna punch me. You're not gonna punch me. You're not gonna punch me. You're not gonna punch me, bro. What's wrong with you? You just hit a woman and you asked for her ID. What's wrong?
I'm going to do this. Put up the pictures that she provided to Indisputable directly. What this officer did to her.
Jesus.
I want you to see this. She did nothing illegal. See, this is where the officer wanted it to go. This is what he wanted to do because he, in fact, is a coward, a feckless human being. In court, Davis claimed that she was non-compliant and that she decided to attack him. News covered the initial court hearing. Ms. Cooper testified in court that she received several blows to her head and injuries to her face, arms, and legs during the altercation. And Davis testified he was bleeding profusely from his head as a result of being attacked by Ms. Cooper. Ultimately, Ms. Cooper was arrested and charged with battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting arrest. This is not the first excessive force incident Deputy Davis has been involved in. In 2017, Mr. Davis was taken to court after forcefully arresting a man and then tasing his wife. After being ticketed for illegal parking in front of a public supermarket, Mr. Barkley cursed at Deputy Davis. He said profanity. Profanity is legal. Deputy Davis then got in his car, turned on his emergency lights, and ordered Mr. Barkley to pull over. Mr. Barkley exited the vehicle upon Deputy Davis's demand. Deputy Davis then required Mr. Barkley lie on the ground, whereupon he placed his knee on Mr. Barkley's back, placed him under arrest for reckless driving and resisting arrest without violence was the charge. Mrs. Barkley exited their vehicle, approached Mr. Barkley out of concern and the deputy. Mr. Barkley directed his wife, being a concerned husband, go back to the car, return to the car. I'll be okay. Deputy Davis then decided to pull Mrs. Barkley out of the vehicle. She returned to the car as instructed. He goes to the car, does the same move to Mrs. Barkley that you just saw him do to the...
You might think you know Snapchat, but do you really? Here's 3 things that you might not know about Snapchat ads. Did you know?
Young lady.
Okay, we got the point. Now, what's your thoughts on that? I want to hear what you got to say on this, John.
What did they ever do to the cop? He said they went to court, but they didn't give the end result.
Well, this just happened.
He said they went to court and she testified.
That was 2017.
No. He said that the lady that just sustained the bruises and stuff, he said that they went to court and she testified.
Let's see what they got.
Same move. He then decided to utilize his taser on Mrs. Barkley. His report to 5 eyewitness testimony times, it was 2 to 5 times he used it. According to his report, Mrs. Barkley was charged for battery on an officer and obstruction with violence. Are you seeing the pattern? Are you seeing the pattern? He assaults individuals, criminally charges them with assaulting him. He assaults individuals, says, oh no, it's the other way around. They attacked me. I'm the one that was the victim here. I had to charge them with fighting me. There's more. 2020. He was arrested. He arrested, another woman, Lauren Holiday, for resisting arrest with violence, who has since come forward to speak out about her experience. Holiday resolved her case by pleading no contest to resisting without violence in her letter to the judge in Ms. Cooper's case, Ms. Holliday said her own arrest was retaliation. Coming less than a week after she filed a complaint about Davis harassing her while walking her service dogs along the beach, Davis didn't even tell me why he was arresting me, she said. He just pulled me out of the car and kneed me to the ground. His gun flew out of his holder. It has been the most terrifying event of my life. This man has an MO. You know who knows about the MO other than him and the citizens he has brutalized in this local jurisdiction? The leaders that allow him to. I'm going to get to leadership in just a moment. There's more. Ms. Cooper gave us a statement about her experience. She said, and I quote, "The officer of BSO ruined my life, my finances, my physical abilities. Prior to this event, I had a clean record, free to get whatever opportunities suits me. Now I have to work part-time just so I don't miss court dates or a drug and alcohol test that gets called once a month randomly. All in all, it has been a year and 3 months of my judge being switched. My court dates pushed back constantly. Officer Stephen Davis of BSO lying under oath, more than 3 different stories, both on the scene, off the scene, and in court. My left leg and spine have its days where I'm in a terrible amount of pain. To this day, Stephen Davis was completely negligent and uncivil by his approach towards me. I felt safe in my locked car. I was trying to give my ID, however, my birthday nails at the time, as well as the gift card stacked behind my ID, was making it very difficult for me to grab out of my wallet. Him not answering my question really deterred me. It slowed it down from getting my ID, and I got scared and confused as why he couldn't just answer my question. So I started talking to my mom to calm myself down and explain the situation to my mother. We reached out to the sheriff's department for comment to see if Deputy Davis has received any level of repercussion and received this response. Here it is. The incident is currently being heard in court, end quote. Put up the sheriff.
Wow.
You should be a damn ashamed of yourself.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Sheriff Gregory Tony of the Broward County Sheriff's Office has been elected as the sheriff since 2019.
Yeah.
I hope and
That's
pray
about right.
the citizens of your jurisdiction boot you the hell out. He allows Davis to
He
continue
don't allow him. He a puppet.
this behavior unchecked, unfettered, without penalty, without the enforcement of rule or law.
That's crazy.
Let me say this to you, Sheriff.
Hmm.
Maybe you got into this profession because you actually cared about people.
Not his though.
You know, that cop you protected, he did not elect you. The people he's brutalizing did.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going
In
to stay on
hopes that
top
he
of
will fix the
this.
problems.
And I have the date of your reelection, sir. I will remind people of you during that time.
Huh.
It is in your best interest for your political career to do the right thing by the people who put you in that position.
He don't care.
To allow this man who has a stated MO that we could find his MO. I'm sure you know way more than we do. And to do
Yeah, but
nothing,
he
not
don't
even
answer.
investigate.
He ain't. You gotta look
And to
beyond
the
that.
DA who is prosecuting these cases, allowing individuals to not be truthful under oath without penalty. Well, we got something for you as well. That story's coming too. All right. Jessica, thoughts?
All right, so we gotta wait to see what's gonna happen with this case. But for first thing, when you say they're showing the black guy, I'm not surprised.
Me neither.
Black,
But let me say this though. He's just a puppet.
man, I'm not going for them excuses.
He is just because you have to understand
That man took a job, and if he see wrong is wrong, right is right. You're not gonna tell me a puppet is a puppet. If that we just watched the video, the man took a job to do an oath and uphold an oath.
He was voted in, but you have to understand politics. You have to understand politics. The sheriff is not where it stops. The sheriff is exactly where he is.
If you
He's
got
just the sheriff.
job, why you don't do your job? Right is right, wrong is wrong.
To you. But who says that is his job? Who says that's why he was put in place?
So
politics.
What he got there the keep the let the bullshit go?
Absolutely.
So we hired him just to say we're gonna keep on letting
we voted for him. The community voted for him in hopes that because he looks like us, that he's gonna be for us. Well, we mess up a lot of times is because we think that just because somebody look like us, they have to. All the time, it's not like that.
I agree. Just because
you look like me, don't mean you for me. You could be just as racist as the white man next to you.
You're right.
You could not like me just because I'm black and I discuss you. And when you look in the mirror, you don't see a black man.
You're right. I agree with you.
So there could be a million reasons on why he's the way he is. It could be that. It could be that. Or it could be the fact that he is literally just there as a placeholder. He's there as a puppet to scratch out. Listen, politics in the police department is something serious. I'm a product of that. I won't say a product of that. I have been doing this for 18 years and I have seen it. I have seen the politics and how it plays out. I have, and you have to have a strong back. Well, my dad, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I have seen it on both sides. And you have to be really strong to deal, especially when you're in a state like Florida.
Ja, let me say this.
There's not too much I can say on this because
this man supported this. First, you got this old punk ass pussy ass cop.
They never showed his face.
I'm about to find this.
Is he a white cop?
I need to find out. Let's see. That's a good question. Let's find out.
Hear this, Mom? Do you?
I want to remind
I saw
you
a black hand.
That this was not even a traffic stop in the traditional sense. Miss Cooper was waiting for her friend to join her so they could celebrate her birthday at the beach. She was just waiting there. All right? That's it. When Deputy Stephen decided to pull up, Deputy Stephen Davis decided to pull up and said, "Give me your identification." After she hesitated, which is understandable,
Okay.
Also, the judge, they did go to court. It says the judge sides with deputy on Papano rough arrest case. About what happened? Well, you were supposed to follow up on this. They did go to court.
But I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm giving my opinion of how I feel about it.
I know, but they even had a motion to suppress. Judge denies motion to suppress evidence in case of woman accused of attacking Broward County deputy. A judge denied the motion to suppress evidence on Thursday in the case involving Broward woman that was accused of attacking Broward Sheriff's Office. In the court, the jury heard from the state and defense in relation to the alleged incident involving Kiana Cooper and BSO deputy Stephen Davis. Cooper is fighting for her arrest for battery on a law enforcement officer. She claims it was Davis who got physical. Body cam video from 2022 incident shows Davis approaching Cooper's car and asking for her ID, which in time she asks why. The judge referenced the video in court on Thursday. The deputy didn't ask once, not twice, not 3 times, but at least 4 times, he said. The deputy responds that she must produce ID or else she would go to jail. Cooper was allegedly on the phone with her mom, who supposedly heard the exchange. A few seconds later, Davis was seen grabbing the door handle, and from there, things escalated and got physical. But he wasn't even supposed to open her door.
He wasn't supposed to. He wasn't supposed to ask her for no license or nothing.
Well, he could have asked her for that as a field interview. So
Huh?
let's say that's so let's say he could have asked her for her ID as a field interview
But she's
because
not obligated to give him to.
it don't. That's not true. You don't see you're basing laws off of stuff that's not the law in other states. But if she was let's say she was suspicious because she'd been there for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours waiting on somebody, or maybe somebody called in and said she was a suspicious person sitting in the vehicle. He has all rights to do a field interview on her.
No, how can you do that on a stranger, John?
Because she was suspicious. Maybe she did something. So we don't know what happened.
No, John, stop trying to make excuses for
Oh
the
my God,
police.
it's not a fucking excuse.
Yes, it is. Stop
No,
trying
it
to make
is not, Reggie.
police.
See, again, you don't do enough research. You don't
You
know.
just woke
Just
up
because you don't know what happened, you got the video. Oh my
all
God.
them people. Why he didn't go to walk around and ask everybody else then? Hey,
There wasn't no everybody else.
That was at a beach.
And there was nobody else in that vehicle on the side of her. First of all, secondly, you don't know if he got a call that said that she was suspicious. Is what I'm saying. We don't know what happened prior to that or what made him go and do a field interview on her vehicle. She could have been her vehicle could have been a suspicious vehicle. It could have been a suspect. We don't know.
Shy. Stop.
All I'm saying to you is that he could have asked her
while she's sitting in the car talking to her mom.
What I'm saying is he could have asked her. If somebody sitting outside of your house on the street, and nobody knows who they are, and they're just sitting there in their vehicle. They're suspicious.
Private resident. We talk about public.
They're suspicious. It don't matter.
It does matter. They was at a public park.
Oh
you always want to take up for the
it
police.
doesn't matter, Reginald.
You always want to take up for the police.
I'm not taking up for the fucking police. I'm trying to give you some insight and education, but instead you giving me pushback.
I'm trying to tell you.
All I'm telling you is that.
How can you just pull up? I'm waiting on my friend.
Because I don't know any of that.
Ask me.
I don't know any of that. How do I know that versus you casing something? How do I know that?
I'm not doing nothing. I'm not.
But how do I know that?
You don't. You know what?
You don't. Right. So go ahead and say it. You don't know it.
If you think I'm doing something suspicious, do your job. Sit in the car and wait.
That's my job. No, that's not my job. My job is not to sit around and wait for something to happen.
If I have not done nothing illegal,
that is not my job. My job is to prevent it from happening.
You're right.
So if you're suspicious, and let's say that you aren't doing anything, if I'm doing a field interview on you, it's just a field interview. Because guess what? If I leave that spot to go to a call or go and check my other areas and do my security checks or whatever, and I get a call on the radio that says there were shots fired, an active shooter in the parking lot, and the description was a black woman, short with glasses. Oh shit! I did a field interview on her and I got her ID. We know who that is. I could give you a description of the vehicle and the tag number. You see what I'm saying? So we don't know that. You don't know what she was there for. So he wasn't wrong in asking her for her ID. He was wrong in his approach and his response to her. When she asked, "What did I do?" or "Why am I giving you my ID?" he could have simply said, "You were called in as a suspicious person. I'm just doing my job. I'm just making sure that everything's okay." Blase, blase, and she could have given the ID. But she didn't. She didn't have to give pushback, and neither did he. Now he was wrong all day. He was wrong, but he wasn't wrong in asking her for her information.
Okay.
He was wrong in his response afterwards.
Okay, so now again.
So let me finish reading this.
Hold on. Just because you ask for my information doesn't mean I have to give you my information.
Okay.
I haven't done nothing wrong. I haven't broke a law. I haven't did anything wrong. So you can't just walk up to me and say, "Hey, I need your ID." No.
That's not how that goes.
Jive, you could just if that was that simple in the world, the police would be able to go up to everybody in the world and just ask, say, "Hey, I just want to check your ID randomly."
They do.
You can't do
Yes, they do. It's called a field interview.
Some states, but
if you don't, that's not some states. I've been to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different states.
No, Jive.
5. And I've been.
It has to be probable cause in order for you.
It don't got to be no probable cause.
for my ID.
That's not true.
You cannot. So show me where you can send it to me and I'll put it up on screen.
Send what to you?
Where you have to well, any officer can just pick a person and just go ask and say, give me your ID. Oh, let's see. That happened in Florida. So let's see. So you do have to have a probable cause in order.
No, you don't.
And
Hibble versus 6th Judicial District Court in Nevada. There's a law.
No. Don't pull up Nevada. Pull up Florida.
No, baby, I'm not pulling up no Nevada. I'm pulling up the case. I'm not pulling up anything. I am giving you the law. And so you know how it says
Give me Florida law. What's Florida law?
So what I'm saying, no, you're not. You listen, Reggie, because you feel like you know everything. Listen,
I'm pretty.
The laws are normally given like it could say Wilson versus state of South Carolina or whatever. That's how it's descriptor. That's how it's described. That's what it says. Like Johnson versus Board of Education. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's still gonna be. It'll say the state of Florida versus.
No, it won't. No, it doesn't. Those are federal laws. These are Supreme Court laws. These are things that have gone to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has said this is going to be upheld in the court. It ain't got nothing to do with per state. At that point, it's the Supreme Court.
Hold on.
So,
go ahead.
Oh, you stressed me out. You didn't even follow up on this thing.
Okay, this is what it says. You are only expected to identify yourself to Florida law enforcement officers, police officers, and sheriff deputies, not immigration or FBI agents, when you are stopped on suspicion of a crime or a traffic violation.
All right.
Okay. She was neither one of them.
She was suspicious. Yes.
No.
Oh my goodness. She was suspicious. And all you got to do is look up the stop and identify law for
a crime.
No. Look at the stop
violation.
So, okay, stop. Look at the stop and identify law. The Supreme Court says no. Supreme Court says that you have to provide your identification, and it's an arrestable offense if you refuse to not to do so. That was the Supreme Court. If she was suspicious. We don't know. Like I said, I told you before, we don't know why he went and chose her to go and say. I'm not saying he was right. I'm saying hypothetically that she could. When you said that he was wrong for asking for her ID, this is all I'm saying. I don't know why he went to her. He could be the most racist cop in the world. But what I'm saying, I'm speaking on you saying that he was in the wrong or illegal when it wasn't legal when he asked her for her identification. That is not true.
The thing
he was in his rights of asking.
Ask, but she's not obligated.
Yes, she is obligated to give her ID. She is obligated to do so. She was a suspicious person at that time. On suspicious persons, you get an ID. You give an ID. You give your name and date of birth. We run you, and if you don't come back for anything, we know it's a fake name and date of birth. Date of birth. You get arrested or whatever. They detain you. They figure out who you are. They can't figure it out. They by your tag number. Then they're gonna take you down to the precinct. They're gonna fingerprint you to figure out who you are and why you been hiding who you are. How if you got any warrants, blase, so forth and so on.
Ja, you
He
make
was in his rights for asking her.
you make it sound like so a person can just walk up to anybody. Oh, you look suspicious. I need your ID.
Absolutely.
Look at him. Oh, down straight. Oh, he ain't.
They come over the radio and they say, "Show me out with a suspicious person at Broad and Williams."
Most
And
of
you
the
say
time,
10 for
people, somebody may do something because they don't know the law and they end up getting it because they
no.
law.
That's not. You don't know the law. You telling people that they're not obligated to give
You
their
are,
ID, and that's not true.
If I have not been stopped,
You were stopped when the police pulled you. When the police pulled you, or the police stopped you and said, "Hey, sir, who are you? What are you doing out here?"
I don't have.
Okay, give me you got some ID. You got some ID? Okay, let me get your ID so I can run you. Make sure you don't have no warrants and make sure you're good to go. Make sure you're not wanted or whatever. That is legal, Reginald.
If I'm on somebody else's property, that's true.
It don't matter.
Hold on, Ja. Hold on. If I'm on
Because
somebody,
that wasn't private property what she was on. She was in a public parking spot.
If I'm on somebody else's property, I understand it. If I get pulled over,
It don't got to be nobody else's
no,
property.
Chief, I'm gonna be quiet. Listen, when you finish, I'll talk. Go ahead.
It don't have to be nobody else's property. You can't give people misinformation though. That's why I'm saying to you, like this is your podcast, yes. But you can't be giving people misinformation and they come out here and they be like, oh, well, mailman told me I ain't got to give my ID. So, I'm gonna listen to mailman, and then this person gets shot and tased because you told him wrong. Like you can't do that. You can't, that's not how you educate people. It is not, they are not, they should be given their ID. The purpose of it is for plenty of reasons. Do you know how many people that have been ran or been stopped while walking down the road and they've been wanted for rape and murder? And you know what I'm saying? And they got caught because they were walking down the road and they had to give they didn't give the right name and they didn't have any ID. They get arrested, go get fingerprinted, and they wanted from like 17 different states for murder, rape, armed robbery, aggravated rape, aggravated assault. These are the reasons why when you're suspicious and people pull you, they ask you for your IDs. You cannot tell people, no, you're not supposed to give your ID. They ask you for your ID, you're in your rights to tell them no and walk off. That's not true. That's not true. That's what I'm saying. Like you have to research the things that you're saying and back it up with facts, with the law that says, hey, this law right here says that you don't have to give your ID, that you're not obligated to, not from something you heard on a movie or on TV and it says, oh, well, you ain't got to do that, because it's not like that. There are laws that back them that says if you're suspicious, I have a right to ask you for your ID. I have the right, and do I have the right to pull you out your car and all this other BS? Nah. No. He was wrong for that. But he wasn't wrong for asking her for her ID.
Okay, so now you done. I listen to you. I ain't interrupt. Now, my thing again. Mailman is saying this on Mailman Podcast. If I am on somebody's property, get hit with trespassing, the police pull up, I understand. If they ask me for my ID, I must show them my ID. If I'm driving a car and I get pulled over for a violation or something, and then I must give up my ID. But if I am on private property or public property, either one, not private property, if I'm on public property, like this lady just at the park, and I'm using that for an example. I'm just at the park and I'm talking on the telephone to whoever. I'm just talking on the phone, laughing, chit-chatting, nothing wrong, just like everybody else is going on about their day. And an officer just pulls up to me out the blue. Hey, need your ID. I wasn't driving. I wasn't doing nothing reckless. I wasn't doing nothing that's uncommon besides sitting in a car talking on the phone. That's not suspicious. To sit in the car and talk on the phone, there's nothing suspicious about that. I'm just talking on my phone, laughing and enjoying my day, waiting for a friend. Also approaches my vehicle and say, hey, I need your driver's license. Why you need my driver's license? No, you can't. No, you don't need my driver's license. I haven't done nothing wrong. then yes, I'm saying no. You can't just get my driver's license just because you feel like
That's your opinion.
you want to get my driver's license.
Show them the law, Reggie, that says that.
I'll do some research on that to pull it up because it's been plenty of times. If y'all want to go, if I want to give y'all, go to the audit channel. He knows the law a lot better than I do. I'm not a lawyer, but if y'all want to go somewhere, it's called Audit the Audit. And what I'm saying, he will tell you, he can point you in the aisle, how she was just saying Congress and everything when Congress write laws and Congress back this up. Go to Audit the Audit. Since I'm not a lawyer to tell y'all legal advice, but I can point y'all in a direction where y'all can find out the information. What
They don't even have to do that. They can just Google it. They can go to the archives.
Actually study this and go to somebody that will point you to all the Congress laws, put you in the right direction to where everything that's been called. Because the law is all about interpretation. That's one thing.
But sometimes it is black and white and it's plain as day, and it is written that way as well.
But Jai,
you have to.
So
but you don't do.
Y'all go to audit.
You don't do no research, man. You be out here giving opinions.
It ain't got to do research, Jai.
You're gonna get somebody hurt. You're gonna get somebody hurt if you're educating them wrong.
It's not getting nobody hurt.
You are, because you don't have the law and you don't know what's in the rights to do.
That is not.
You're giving them your opinion.
That's not in the law. That man asked for. She wouldn't give him his license. Now she opened his door, snatched her out. That's not getting. Him
was opening the door and snatching her out was wrong. But the law does say that if you do not provide your license or your ID,
if you do not provide license if you doing,
it's an arrestable offense.
But not
it's an arrestable offense.
Down being a productive citizen doing nothing.
You don't know that because we don't. What he showed. He showed when the part of the matter of fact. Let's do this. How about in the courts? Her attorney requested from the judge to suppress evidence against her, and the judge denied it. So what was it that they suppressed? See, we didn't get but partial of the video, but if you would have done your research and you would have researched the case, you would have seen.
I didn't research. I'm giving my opinion.
But make sure you tell them that.
Let me tell y'all this, so she break. I'm giving my opinion. I'm not
right.
So when she's saying yes, sometime I will go and look at things into a different aspect and go a little bit deeper.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm giving my opinion of the things. So I don't know what they suppressed, what her lawyer suppressed. I don't know what was hidden. I don't know if anything in between. But going off what I seen basically.
And you don't know what the law is because you keep telling these people that she was in the right for not wanting to produce her license.
For sitting in her car.
And then here's my thing. My thing is this: like, why would you even give pushback to somebody for your what is it? What's so prized possessionally about your license that you couldn't just give it to somebody? Like, that don't make sense to me. Because like we both were looking for something. You were looking for something and I was looking for something, because there's no way that you asked me for my license and I'm about to ain't gonna fuss with you about giving you my license. That's stupid as fuck.
My license and my name come back clear. That doesn't mean what? I just don't want to
give
you my license.
And guess what? And all he wanted to do was do a field interview. So he wrote your name down. So the fuck what?
That's my right.
But that is not your right. And that's the problem.
See, that's
it's not legal.
You want to get a police all these accolades.
I don't want to get the police nothing because he was wrong as fuck. I keep saying that. I keep saying he was wrong as fuck, but what I'm saying is I'm not about to give black people no what to call it either.
I'm not looking at a color.
I'm not about to give black people no pass either. Like, at the end of the day,
black people no pass either.
So you don't. But you think that she was in the right for saying?
What did she do wrong? Tell me what she did wrong.
She didn't produce her license. It wasn't that big of a deal.
When you watched the video, when he walked up, she was just on the phone with her mama. So what did she do?
When he started the video, but we don't know what the call was. We don't know what the call on the radio. She could have been suspicious to somebody. Somebody could have called her in and said that she was a suspicious person.
Tell me what was wrong sitting in her car. What was wrong?
Nothing. But when a citizen calls, you still have to respond.
But hold on though. When they pull up, me sitting in the car laughing and talking on the phone with my mama, what I'm doing suspicious.
But do we know what she did before then? Somebody could have called and said, "Hey, we had a lady that just cursed somebody out on the beach, and she's sitting in her car in the parking lot." We don't know what the call was.
Even if she cussed somebody out, what's wrong with that? What is it's called freedom of speech.
No, it's not. It's still assault too. Depending on what she said, and it's still considered assault. Just like spitting on somebody is assault.
That's spitting. That is a.
But we don't know what she did, Reginald. That's what I'm saying to you.
She cut somebody.
We don't know what the call was. I'm giving scenarios. We don't know what happened prior to.
That's not a good scenario because it's talking about cuss.
Oh
now,
my God!
You're right.
Reggie, listen what the fuck I'm saying. What I'm saying is that somebody could have called in.
You're right.
Somebody could have called in and said anything. And guess what? The police have to respond to it.
Okay, so the police got to respond.
So when he responds, he still has to do his job.
You're not
he
getting
still has to do his due diligence to make sure that everything's kosher. So all he did was ask for her ID. He didn't ask you to step out the car, ma'am.
Okay,
let's
show
say do anything like he asked for her ID.
No warrants or nothing because even after they ran her name, it was still nothing on her name.
It don't matter. It was a field interview.
But
he probably wasn't even going to run her name. He was doing a field interview.
It ain't got nothing. Obviously, she didn't do nothing right. It was no.
You don't know that because she got charged.
She got charged with them charges, not.
But and whatever else they needed to suppress. But guess what? Because she could have avoided all of that too.
Okay, but he didn't have to.
She played a part in that just like he did.
Again.
I'm not taking up. No, he was wrong.
She did not play
he was wrong for grabbing her out her car.
He did not play.
But she gave him pushback too.
She gave him pushback.
She could have. It don't matter why. She could have just given her ID.
And see, you make it just give. Why do I have to give my ID to a stranger?
Because he asked for it.
That man, a stranger. What if she? Okay,
she's the police. You gonna call that same stranger, but you gonna call that same stranger somebody trying to break in your house. Somebody trying to rape your daughters. Somebody trying to run somebody over. Somebody that broke in your car. You call these same strangers.
Hold on.
So that's crazy as fuck to me.
Let's say she gave
him. So
he's
a stranger then, but when you need him, you gonna call him.
Yeah, let's say she gave him her ID and then he followed her back. He came to her house.
Oh my God, he could have run her tag and came to her house. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, because the tag could have been registered to her friend.
But you don't know that.
You're right. That's what I'm trying to say.
So you coming up with dumb shit.
Give her ID is what I'm
coming up with stupid shit, Reggie. That's stupid as fuck.
Just don't want to accept the fact of
you coming up with stupid shit.
That ain't stupid.
That is very stupid.
Police ain't been caught doing all types of this.
So have you. So have other people. So have black men. So have black women. So have other people.
But John,
what fucking point are you trying to make?
I'm not talking about the race on this.
She sit there and she anybody could have done that.
But John,
anybody could have followed her home. They could have followed her home from the parking lot when she parked in the parking lot and wait for her friend. Somebody could have snatched her up and raped her right then and there. So fucking what? I'm not understanding your point.
What does race got to do with this?
What you talking about?
You said a black, so does
because
black.
Because we're talking, the racial part came about because he's a white officer, and that's why the headline says black woman was assaulted. The fuck you mean?
But you keep bringing up. I said
because the whole thing is a race. If a black man did that to her, we wouldn't be doing the news. It wouldn't be a talking pot on your podcast because you wouldn't have known about it.
I don't care if you black or white because you do something.
But the media does. The media does.
I don't care about that media.
Okay, but the media does. So you wouldn't know anything about it had it not been from the media.
If I can find out about it, I don't care if you're a
God, here we go. Anyways, what's the point?
The point is she wasn't doing nothing to break the law.
Okay.
As long as you are within the law.
Yeah. And you think that was within the law? Okay.
Now, that's within the law of her having the right to not have to give her ID for waiting on a friend to enjoy.
The Supreme Court upheld the state laws requires citizens to reveal their identity when officers have reasonable suspicion.
Now, what's
believe that's the Supreme Court, honey. That's the Supreme Court.
Every state has their own.
No. That is the Supreme Court. So commonly known as the Stop and Identify statute. These laws permit police to arrest.
All right, send that to me. So send that to me so I can pull this up. Send it to me. Send it to me. I'm finna pull it up.
As of 2013, 24 states has stopped. Has stopped and identify laws. Regardless of your state's law. Regardless of your state's law, keep in mind that police can never compel you. Say that again.
How many states did you just say?
24.
24. How many states is in America?
Identify to the Stop and Identify law.
But how many states in America?
What does that have to do with anything?
You just said that what you read applies to 24 states. So that lets you know right now it doesn't go to all the states in America. So how many states is in America now? Because you just said is that Supreme Court law goes with 24 states, but it's more. I know it's more than 24 states. I'm just trying to. I know it's more than 24 states. Even because that just came out your mouth. Now this. Thank God is actually recorded.
Oh, I don't give a fuck because Florida is one of those states. So, all you had to do is look it up.
Okay, so
I told you to look up the stop and identify law for Florida.
So Florida's a stop and frisk state. If Florida's a stop and frisk state, I'll take back everything, and I'll be like, yeah, she was wrong. You're right. Now let me see.
Florida is a stop and identify state.
Okay.
Whether you have to show ID, let's see what it says. Loitering or prowling statute. Oh, okay. So was she not loitering when she was sitting in the parking lot? Because of the interaction between these two statutes, a person might be required to identify themselves when requested by law enforcement officers, but only if that officer has reasonable suspicions. It being committed, crime being committed, suspicious, or is about to be committed. The issue is, in these cases, is whether such detention or request violates the Fourth Amendment, prohibiting unreasonable searches and seizures. He didn't unreasonable search or seizure. He asked to stop and identify. Some stop and identify statutes have been found to be unconstitutional under the void and vagueness doctrine when the statutory language is unclear on how a person must identify themselves when requested to do so. Other problems include whether a person can refuse to identify themselves if doing so would be incriminating. Oh, problems with the refusing to identify yourself and show ID in the state of Florida. The information listed here should not be relied on. Let's see. It is difficult to tell whether the request for your name and identification is being made during a consensual encounter or as part of a detention. For this reason, people sometimes say, I don't answer questions. Am I free to go? The officer has no obligation to tell you the basis of their suspicion. Oh, you hear that, Reggie? The officer has no obligation to tell you the basis of their suspicion. Do you hear that?
I hear what you're saying. I'm reading this law. I told you simply, I found it up. It said, is Florida a stop and ID state? And it says, yes, Florida is generally considered a stop and ID state based on the interactions between the following statutes. The stop and frisk law founded at Florida State 5901.151, and the loitering and prowling statute found at Florida State 856.021. Because of the interaction between these two statutes, the person might be required to identify themselves when requested by a law enforcement officer, but only if the officer reasonably suspects that a crime has been committed, is being committed, or is about to be committed. The issue in these cases is whether such detention or request violates the Fourth Amendment prohibition.
Now scroll all the way down to where it says problems with refusing to identify yourself or show ID.
I gotta go through this. In Terry versus Ohio, 392 U.S. 1, 1968, the U.S. Supreme Court found the U.S. Constitution allowed a police officer to temporarily detain a person based on specifics and articulable facts, establishing reasonable suspicion that a crime has been committed, is being committed, or is about to be committed. In Hebel versus 6th Judicial District Court of Nevada, 542 U.S. 177.
That's what I just read to you.
The U.S. Supreme Court extended the holding by finding that a statute requiring a suspect to disclose their name during a valid Terry stop did not violate the Fourth Amendment. Okay, so let me make sure I understand.
Now scroll down.
The U.S. Supreme Court extended the holding by finding that a statute requiring a suspect to disclose their name during a valid Terry stop did not violate the First Amendment. Stop and identify states have been found to be unconstitutional under the void for vagueness doctrine when the statutory language is unclear on how a person must identify themselves to do so. Other problems including whether a person can refuse to identify themselves if doing so would be incriminating. Generally, you are not necessarily required to show a photo identification card or driver's license because stating your full name and date of birth is often deemed sufficient. Problem with refusing to identify yourself or show your ID. The information listed here cannot be relied on when interacting with law enforcement. Instead, this article is intended to help you spot issues that might exist in your case if you are illegally detained. Most of these issues can only be determined by the court in a hearing on a motion to suppress long after the detention has ended. Um, as a particular matter, asserting the right to refuse to identify yourself is difficult for the following three reasons. First, it is difficult to tell whether the request for your name and identification is being made during a consensual encounter or as part of a detention. For this reason, people sometimes say, I don't answer questions. Am I free to go?" Second, the officer has no obligation to tell you the basis of their suspicion. Instead, if you are illegally detained and evidence is gathered due to that illegal detention, your attorney should file a motion to suppress that evidence. At a hearing on the motion, the prosecutor would then have to will have the burden of presenting evidence showing a legal bias or a legal
Basis.
basis for the stop, detention, and request for the identification. Um, Third, if you refuse to identify yourself, the refusal might support the for probable cause to arrest you for loitering and prowling.
Right.
So now I would say this to
So
people.
look at this. Keep going down to the Florida's loitering and prowling statute. Florida statute
Well,
856
I
point.
ain't gotta read all that part. I gotta say, I can just say this. I'll say this to everybody just that do watch this part into it. Given the fact that, again, like I told Ja, you don't have to show your ID when an officer asks, but you have to understand what state that you are in if you don't have to do that. Given the fact that it says that that Florida is a stop and ID state, then yes, she was wrong on that aspect of it then, because Florida is one of the states that is a stop and ID state. But to my basis of what I was saying, if you are in a state that is not a stop and ID state,
But
you don't have to give your ID to a person because that state is not a stop and ID state. So you just have to know what state is a stop and ID state and what state isn't a stop and ID state. So in the instance of that, I don't have no problem with saying now, knowing that Florida is a stop and ID state. Yes, in that instance, she was wrong for not giving her driver's license, even though she knows she wasn't doing nothing wrong.
right.
It's not the fact that she wasn't doing nothing wrong. It's the fact that the laws need to be changed. And the law,
But the laws, but see what you're feeling like now, Georgia has a stop and ID law as well.
well,
So the Supreme Court, when the Supreme Court did that last ruling, I think it was the Nevada one, it changed the laws for all of those states that were stop and ID before. So Georgia has its own stop and ID as well. So when I'm not giving the police any type of slack at all. I'm not saying that he was right. I need to reiterate that he was wrong. But I also feel like we watch too much TV and we adopt what we see on television or what we hear from somebody because it sounds good, and we put that in play for ourselves.
it is true on certain things. In certain states,
Just like you just told these people before you read that they didn't have to give their
you
ID.
don't insert. And so my bias was
No,
I was wrong on Florida, but in certain states you don't.
in our states you do. In all southern states you
In
do.
the entire state of the United States, not every
In
state.
all southern states you do.
Again, I'm not just a Southern podcast.
It don't
So
matter.
it does matter because so
Okay,
what
well,
I
in
need
your
to do,
state, you got
so
to
what I
stop.
need to do is
There's a stop and
correctly
ID.
go back and change what I said was this is the best way to do. Find out if your state is a stop and ID state. If your state is not a stop and ID state, then it goes back to what I said.
No, you need to just read the laws because it may not be categorized as stop and ID.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
So you don't just because your state is not a stop and ID.
Find out the laws of do you have to give your ID to an officer?
Right.
Officer asks for your ID.
Mm-hmm.
Find out what that is law. If your state is not a state that supports you have to identify yourself because an officer asked, then yes, I'm right. You do not have to give your driver's license or ID to a person if you are not doing nothing wrong. In this particular case, with this lady, now the lady, it says that Florida is a stop and ID state. So what she would have to do in this case, if she felt like it was illegal, she would have to go back and fight them. Because if she was to get pulled over and she felt discriminate, she could go back and fight that. And then she go back and then she go through the court of law to fight it. And they would go through that whole process.
So they already did that.
It,
And that's why she did. So if you remember the
before
if
now,
you remember the stands,
she did the state stopping that now that she given the fact that she didn't, if she had known that it was a stop and ID state and once he found out she didn't have no risk, then she could have went back. But now
she did.
Later,
they did go to court, and that's when they suppressed the the judge didn't approve the suppress. Remember when you looked at the
job, what I'm trying to say is this. If she had known that it was a stop and ID state and she just said, hey, I don't feel right giving you my ID, but since this was the law, here you go. And now she give her ID.
She didn't have to say that. Why did she have to say that?
It doesn't matter why she said. She can tell a person, I can tell you, I don't feel comfortable. I don't have to give you my license.
That's my thing. Like we have to get to the point where everything don't have to be a fight.
It ain't got to be a fight.
We don't have to create a hostile environment either.
At the end of the day, she giving him the license out. He got to do.
But she could have said the rest of that to herself.
No, she don't. And then once she get she didn't have to say it, and it wouldn't hurt if she did say it. It wasn't going.
Well, I hope that's not how you educate your kids on being stopped.
She can express how she feel. I do
right,
not.
and we know that the law. We know at the end of the day that everywhere we go, the law
shut up and just give your license. That's what you say. Shut up and give your license.
Just give her the license, right?
Okay. Yes. Why can't I just say I'm advising you? I don't feel comfortable giving you my license.
For what? Why are you? What's the point of advising?
Because I'm advising you that I don't feel comfortable about.
Why?
Jai, I don't feel comfortable. Why I have to give you my license?
Why do you have to say that to somebody?
And now after you come back and say,
are you telling him? Are you telling him that you don't feel comfortable because you expect him to care or something?
She's getting it on record. She's getting it on record.
Getting on record for what?
So that
whose record is she getting it on?
If she's getting it on record, letting him know that I don't feel comfortable. If
on
she
whose record is she? What record is she getting it on?
Oh Jesus, Jai. If you let me shut up because I can't never answer. Let me know when you finish.
I'm asking you a question.
You finished?
I asked you a question.
But are you finished? Because every time I talk, you don't never listen.
Because you didn't answer the question. You said she getting it on record. Whose record? What record? Record for what?
She's getting it on record that she does not feel comfortable. So it's documented that she has informed the officer she don't feel comfortable. If the officer go back and once she knows because a person that know they ain't did no crime or they ain't did nothing illegal, they not worried about when he come back with the license. I don't care about when you come back with my license. So now that you done ran my name, and my name came back, no warrants. It's nothing that I haven't done nothing wrong. Everything has come back and cool. Now, if I go down to the court and file, hey, this person just picked me out the blue and asked for my license, and I didn't have no warrants. I wasn't doing nothing wrong. I'm coming down here to file a complaint on this officer. For whatever reason I wanted to, for the reason of this officer coming down, just stopping me out the blue while I was waiting on a friend and asking me for my license. It's on the record that I didn't feel comfortable with it. This already documented. That gives the whatever, if she wanted to push the issue or whatever she want to do.
It don't give you nothing.
Okay. All right. If you feel that way, John, then
that don't give you nothing. Because when people say, again, y'all watch too much TV because you're talking about it's already on record. It ain't on nobody record.
It's on the video camera.
And what if his body cam didn't work? What if his body cam the battery went dead already? What record are you putting it on? That's what I'm saying. Like, that is not a record.
Okay, if it ain't on record, what a person should do is be recording it, and they got the video of the interaction.
And she got every right to record it.
And so now it's on her record of it that she stated it. They got.
But who cares that she don't feel comfortable? Who feels comfortable when they pulled over? That's an uncomfortable feeling for anybody. Who gives a fuck? Nobody cares that you feel uncomfortable.
You know how many jurors done awarded people money because people had things documented?
That's not a document. That's what I'm saying. That's like when people call 911, they be like, "Oh, I just want to document this, but I don't want the police at my house." It's not a documentation.
Oh, Jesus.
But I'm trying to you shunning me, but I'm trying to educate you. That's not a record.
You had like just
How you trying to educate me when you don't even
have
know?
something on record to be able to show that
That is not a record, though. Is what I'm saying to you.
If it's already been documented that a person told a person,
how is it documented?
Because if I got a video, if I got to sue somebody for something, they able to say, well, look, case exhibit number 1, XYZ. In this statement right here.
But what I'm saying is, so understand this. First of all, a body cam is not public information. They don't have to release that to you. The attorney can hold that all day long, and they don't ever have to give it to you. Secondly,
don't speak on all states. You trying to speak like
no. That's all states, baby. That's all states. I know that for a fact. I teach the class. I'm telling you what I know, not what I think. Secondly, because you have to go through legals in order to get a body cam, and even though you subpoena it and you do the freedom of information, if it's still tied up in legals, you won't get that. It's up to the police department to give you what they want to give you.
Once it's done legal. See, you take 10 that you right. Okay, it might can't get it because it's going through a process. But after the process is done,
it won't. But I don't have to. That attorney don't have to give it to you. You see what I'm saying? Like the process could be all the way into a court, and then you won't get it to after the court hearing or whatever. Or they only give you parts of the video. They don't give you the whole thing. So
if you withhold evidence, if your attorney,
that's not withholding. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not withholding.
It's not withholding if it's being used against me in case.
Oh my goodness, that's what I'm trying to tell you. But again, you think you know. I'm trying to educate you, and I did this before.
How is it not withholding though?
We argued about this before, Reggie, and I had to show it to you on this internet for you to realize that you were wrong.
How is it not withholding? If this
because it's illegal, because it's still tied up in legal proceedings. So when you do the Freedom of Information Act,
we're talking about you got to make sure. How you talking about if my lawyer? You said if my lawyer wanted my lawyer.
Yes, if your lawyer wants it, I can even release you just partial of it and tell you the rest of it where we don't have for you right now, or they could tell you the rest of it they're still going through it, and because I don't have to give you. They don't.
My lawyer, it's a process to go through.
It don't matter. Your lawyer does the same thing that everybody else does, and he can keep signing that same paper and sending that same paperwork in. But we had the department has a lawyer too. Why do you think that the partial of the video camera of body cams come out before the whole thing comes out? The reason why is because they only release partial of it. They don't have to give you the whole thing.
Let me say this: if you're going to the law, if a person is going to court and you got evidence, we have right to all the evidence that's against me.
You have rights to subpoena it. And they have a right to tell you that it's not ready yet, or that they can't give it to you right now because there's a statute for it. There's a statute for it.
They got to give it to you.
No, they don't. They may have to give it to you, but they don't have to give it to you in your time frame.
They got to give it to you.
Okay, I ain't been doing this for 18 years. You got it.
You just said it. You got to accept the fact that it don't go always.
I've been doing this for 18 years, baby. You speculating? Go ahead. You got it.
They got to give it to you.
Okay, you got it.
That's the whole point. That's the simplest point, y'all.
That's what you think.
And going back watching the video, you still end up saying the same thing I said. They got it to you.
No.
Yes, you did. You just said it might be a time.
I told you they may give you partial. They may tell you they don't have it ready for you yet. They're not gonna give it to you in your time frame.
Okay, let me follow your lead. They're not gonna give it to me in my time frame, but they got to give it to me one day, right?
They can give you what they feel, what they deem is okay.
No question, John.
You're not because it's not cut and dry like that. They can give you what they want to give you.
Okay.
Let's say that.
They're gonna give me what they want to give me, but they gotta still give it to me. If I want it in 30 days and they give it to me in 60 days. If I want it in 60 days, they give it to me. All my question is, at the end of the day, my lawyer has to fight for whatever is going in my case. Question. Even if I ask for it to have it next week and they give it to me 2 weeks, they got to give it to me. And then here's where the pressure really comes on. Once the judge orders them to give it to me at a certain time, they have
that is what it is. No, the judge, a subpoena is signed by the judge. The judge You
So
an attorney.
just for them, they gotta get if they don't give
No,
me
that's
within the judge,
not. You got to read up on your stuff,
it's
Reggie.
penalized. They can even if they don't, they gonna be penalized for it.
No, they won't.
So you
No, they
telling me?
won't.
Hold on. Okay, so this is what you telling me. If a judge tell a person,
So
hey,
listen, first of all, do you understand that when an attorney requests stuff, if they're subpoenaing it from you, when stuff is subpoenaed from you, it is signed off by a judge.
you're right.
It is not. It's not. So automatically a judge is involved from point A to point
Okay.
B.
So you
Okay.
telling me? Hold
So
on.
it ain't no.
No, you telling me a judge say, hey, this evidence if the 24th of August, and this evidence need to be to them by September the 15th.
They don't give a time frame.
I'm using this as an example, y'all, because y'all gonna try to be. I'm using this as an example. I don't know that. The judge says it's got to be delivered by September the 15th. And the person, be that if it's the DA or be that if it's the defendant, and they don't get it to them by the 15th, it is not no consequences, is what you're telling me.
Not if the video ain't ready.
Okay. I don't say
you can't make the video ready when you want it ready.
If the video ain't, all they got to do is come back and say, Judge, the video ain't ready. I know you told me that it'll be supposed to be on the 15th.
Because they don't normally give a time frame. Like that's not how it's written. It's not. There's no time.
I don't see how it ain't, because even with
you do a public information ad.
they had to come with things at certain times. It's been cases that didn't got thrown out because they didn't come in certain times.
That ain't got nothing to do with nobody. There's drug cases like that. There's drug cases like that right now. There are literally
the incident that
there
just
are literally drug cases that have that the drugs are still sitting in the testing facility because they're so behind that they haven't been able to test all the drugs to make sure that it is drugs. Like, come on, man, really?
Ja.
Like,
all I'm gonna tell you is this: if a person has a good attorney,
okay.
Your attorney is a good attorney.
Okay.
It was just like the case about the young lady that got killed in Georgia by her boyfriend that came and kidnapped her from work. He took her from work, and after he took her from work, the police were called. They got in a high-speed chase, and they chased the boy, and then he killed the girl right before the police could get him, and then he surrendered. He gave himself up. Okay. Now, in that particular case, the young man got out of jail. Their family was trying to figure out how in the world did he get out of jail when he had already been arrested for that same charge a year previously. And here it is a year later, their daughter got kidnapped and killed. And the district attorney went on his own record. They can pull this out. This stuff can be found. It's on the internet. They said that it slipped through the cracks because I think they had a 90-day window or something to get it done. It didn't get done within that 90 days. And he was able to get a loophole to be able to get bond to get out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
But you just said,
how does that got anything to do with for you?
It got the facts, because if it had been done, then it would have been he wouldn't have got out of jail. So the consequences of them not making the right time frame.
But what does that?
He was able to get out of jail. So I'm trying to show you.
What does that have to do with anything? That pretty much backs what I just said. But what is that? How does that support?
That's what she just said. It's consequences. If that person attorney, if the judge requires,
what was the consequences for them not giving the paperwork? Nothing.
If the judge, it's gonna be consequences on that DA side. If the judge tell the DA to turn over video footage to that attorney,
but there was no consequences to that for that DA, because that's what happens in the judicial system.
For that DA was the fact something that
that ain't no consequences for him.
Okay, the consequence.
He still got his job.
I don't know what's gonna happen next after this, because somebody got to pay for this girl losing her life. Somebody got to pay for her losing her life because they dropped the ball and didn't get the paperwork in. So yes, it is going to be consequences, because you got an 18-year-old girl.
How many times? You know how many times that has happened?
Okay, so okay, it don't matter how. So it happened 1,000 times.
I'm just saying politics is politics. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's just how it happens. I'm just saying I'm not saying it's right, but you're making it seem like it's black and white, and it's not like that.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
They got to be held accountable for their own.
Okay.
So
just like this officer gonna be held accountable too, right? For abusing this lady. You think he gonna be held accountable, though he wasn't held accountable the last 4 times he did this? It's supposed to be like that. That's how the world is supposed to be. That's how the judicial system should be. But it's not like that. That man has been able to snatch people out of their cars and snatch them up and body slam them and abuse them and bruise them up for over, what was that, 5 years? 6 years. And nothing has happened to him. And he's continuously doing the same thing. Don't work like that, man.
That just show you that the criminal system, that the justice.
I never said it wasn't.
So only thing I'll keep going to is, but basically you just saying the same thing. I'm just saying what's right is right. It's supposed to be. You just saying.
No, you telling people that this is what it is, and that's not what it is.
You just saying, well, yeah, they supposed to be penalized, but it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
But what I'm still saying is right. They supposed to be. Oh Lord Jesus.
You're telling that it's going to, just like you keep saying. Oh
I'm saying this is the right thing to do. You saying, yeah, just because it's the right thing to do, it ain't gonna mean it's gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen, right? But you're telling people that, oh, well, you gonna do this and that and the other, and justice is gonna be served. That's not true.
If you have,
that's not true. It don't matter how good your attorney is, because guess what? Your attorney, you can have the best paid, the highest paid attorney in the world, but they're not going to side with you if they don't want to. Like this man, how many times you don't even need a good attorney to see that this man has a track record or that he has an MO, but yet he still gets off. Ben Crump could come and do the same thing, and I promise you, he will still get off. Even the judge denied her the suppressive evidence.
On this issue again, let me say this, and we're gonna, because it's about getting late, and I gotta go feed.
Here it is, right here. So it's called. It's the. Remember, I was looking for the reasons why they don't have to disclose the video footage and stuff. I don't have all 9, but it says agencies are required to disclose any information requested under a FOIA unless it falls under one of the 9 exemptions which protect interests such as personal privacy, national security, and law enforcement. The FOIA also requires agencies to proactively post online certain categories of information, including frequently requested records, as Congress and the Presidential and the Supreme Court have all recognized the FOIA as a vital part of the democracy. I don't have all 9. I was looking in trying to find my stuff in my FOIA thing, but I can't find it. But that's what I was trying to explain to you. Like, you could subpoena these records, and you could subpoena the stuff via the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, but there are certain criteria that they can use to say, hey, look, it's not ready, or hey, it violates X, Y, and Z. So I can only give you
just finding loopholes. They're just finding loopholes.
But what I was trying to say to you is that this is, remember you was like, oh, well, if the judge don't send it and blase, like, it don't work that way, is what I was trying to explain to you. Right there.
In a simple way, you got to fight the case to prove what's going on. Even if, let's say, if it's something with like they got the protect the child laws. If it's something within it, then they can say, okay, cool, we got to cut this part out. They got to cut certain parts out.
No, there's like 9 things. Like it says and law enforcement. So and law enforcement is where your loophole is. Do you get that?
What you mean and law enforcement? What you mean in more context?
And law enforcement, like anything that has to do with law, they can use that law enforcement part to not give that video footage when it's requested, or they'll give you partial of it, but not the whole thing. The only time I've ever seen the whole video actually being from beginning to end from a body cam standpoint was, I think, when the officer in Charleston. Oh no, they didn't even show that. Remember when the officer in Charleston shot that guy in the back, and he said that the guy ran off with his gun or something, and the video that they showed was from his car. And the only part that they released to the news station was the part where the guy was laying down and the gun was beside him. But And they didn't release the other part of the beginning of the footage or whatever. But then there was somebody in the wood line behind the fence that recorded the whole thing.
That video, and they recorded it.
Right. So that's a prime example of what I'm trying to speak on. They don't always.
I don't know the whole facts of that. I don't know if he said that he didn't have it because I don't know if he said he didn't have it because his body cam broke, or I don't know.
I think he said his body cam went out or something, but he still had a camera. They still had footage from his vehicle, but they didn't release the entire video. They only released the ending part of that of the video from the vehicle, from his unit. But somebody else released the entire video from beginning to end.
Yeah, so all they did was just lied about it. So I mean, we know that they lie. I can't.
Well, not so much a lie. They waited. You know what I'm saying? They were going to eventually have to turn the video over. But what I'm saying is that they took their time in doing so. So what I've seen, not in agencies that I've worked with, but what I've seen or noticed is that when body cam footage is requested, the agencies have been taking their time in releasing the entire video. They give you a snippet, but they try that it looks like to me that they wait until they can get everything in order for the officer, like whether it's going to be his union rep or get his attorney, get his statement together, whatever it is.
They're trying to protect theirs,
right? Absolutely. So my point in saying that is that everything is not going to always be cut and dry. Just like they're giving this lady right now pushback about how she was treated. The judge backed the officer's judgment according to what they say about the court hearing. The judge actually sided with the officer. And that's another thing, like, we know that we're given a hard time because we are already seen or projected as being aggressive. And if we know that, like, I feel like to make it home to our kids, we shouldn't give any aggression or any pushback or whatever. Like, if somebody asks me for my ID, I mean, if that's gonna get me home to my kids, you rather be like, oh, I ain't giving you my shit, and then you possibly get beat up, get shot, or whatever, and now your children are left fatherless. Like, we have to make better decisions.
I'd rather you turn the law and use the law of knowledge against
you. But we know that ain't gonna work. So
yes, it does.
Okay, that's the world you live in, and you think it worked, you go ahead. Yes, the law hasn't worked for you yet, and you sitting here telling these people the law is working.
The law has worked. As you get smarter, you understand the law.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to say yes or massa.
No, but you don't have to be aggressive either. You or give any pushback either. You could just give them your license. It ain't that big of a deal.
But
like, why are we so egotistic?
Now you a good one. You would have been a good slave then. You a good one.
A slave? No, I just know that I want to come home and raise my kids.
You would have been a good one. You gonna do what
Tell me what you want to, but guess what? I'm going home to my kids. And you got to worry about now racking up on lawyer fees, possibly not getting any justice because you're a black man in this world, and going home with a busted eye, busted lip, and still or not going home at all in the grave and having to have your kids with the burden of burying their father. So if you feel like being egotistic, if you feel like being egotistic and pumping your chest at somebody is what makes you a man, then you go right on ahead, Matt. You go right on ahead. And at the end of the day, we'll sit here and talk about whose mind is more enslaved, mine or yours.
Like, you should be able to. You don't have to be competitive just to be able to speak and be a man. See, you don't.
But it depends on what your analogy is of being a man. That's it.
I can still,
because if you feel like that makes you a man, then you got a lot more to learn as an almost 40-year-old man.
I'm learning every day.
Okay.
But I don't have to be you and say yes, a master. Yes, a master.
It ain't no yes, a master.
Anything else?
If somebody asks me for my ID, I'm gonna give them my ID. I'm not gonna give no pushback.
Anything else,
What's
master?
the point? What are you gaining from giving somebody pushback on? You think that's gonna instill fear or something that they're gonna be like, oh well, I ain't gonna ask you for your ID. Go ahead and keep it and go ahead, sir.
Got nothing to do with instilling fear. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna tell everybody that's watching the show. Learn your local laws and learn, educate yourself.
And guess what?
The one
You're
thing
supposed to do that afterwards.
Hold on.
Not during.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Learn them before. Start learning.
No. You're supposed to implement them afterwards. Even the federal law tells you that you are supposed to comply, and then afterwards you go back and you suppress and you ask for.
Listen again, y'all. This is what I'm telling y'all. Learn your laws. Learn how your laws go. Learn the laws to your state. Learn the laws of your state, and that's no problem with learning your law to your state. You get pulled over, if you know that they breaking the law, and they breaking the law, only thing you can do two ways. You can do like her and just shut up, or you can just do like her. You can say like,
it ain't just shut up.
John, let me finish. I'm talking.
Well, then don't project that on me, and you talking about just shut up because that's not what I said.
Let me say that's fake. Just shut up and just do what the master say.
Wow.
Or you can learn your laws. You can hear your license go, and you can let that person know I will be filing a complaint against you.
You don't have to do that. Like
you don't have to do that. You
stupid to me.
Right. You don't have to.
Stupid. That is so stupid.
It's not breaking the law either by letting a person know that you can.
Oh my God. You ain't gotta let nobody know nothing. That's the stupidest thing ever. That's how people fuck up in life, because you always tell somebody your next move instead of moving in silence. Your greatest leaders have always said that the best way to move, the smartest way to move is in silence. So why the fuck would you tell somebody that you are supposed to tell somebody that that's what you're going to do?
What's going to happen to me for me telling them the guy?
He may shoot you. Who knows?
What's going?
He may shoot you and say that he thought you was grabbing for a gun.
If my hands,
he may pull you out the car. Like that's stupid.
My hands behind my back. How am I reaching for a gun?
It don't matter. They're gonna make up a lie. People have died with their hands behind their back.
If you got me a hand,
George Floyd died with his hands behind his back.
And look what happened. Now, old boy,
right? Say what?
Now, old boy, both of them now both of them in prison.
And he dead.
You're right, but both of them in prison.
And he's dead.
So now,
and their families still got a father to go see.
Yeah, they gonna go see him.
It don't matter where they see him at. He's still living and breathing and talking.
He come out in the free world. He's
still living, breathing, and talking. People want to be in prison. People get more they make more money in prison, and they live a better life in prison than they do in the world. I've heard that from several of my clients. But guess what? At the end of the day, the point is that he's living and breathing, and they can touch their father. That little girl can't touch her daddy. That little girl can't touch her daddy.
But again, what I'm saying is this: you tell me what's gonna happen, because this person say that they didn't comply.
I just told you.
And that person complied. Just because I complied, and I say, okay, what's your name? I'm about to go down to the courthouse and file a complaint.
You saw his badge.
You
saw his badge when he came to the window.
What's matter of fact, while we doing this, let me show you this. You making it seem like it's so bad. Let me see, can I find this video?
I'm not making nothing. I'm just saying, like, your goal.
Your attitude is the attitude. Shut up and do what master say. That's your.
Well, whatever. If that's gonna get me home, then fine. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna give you my ID. I've been in law enforcement for 18 years. And I have been totally disrespected before on a traffic stop. Totally disrespected. The man yelled at me and all. I handled it afterwards. I let him do his thing. He was recorded on the phone. And once I left, I knew exactly who I needed to talk to. I handled it, but I didn't have to handle it right there in the street.
Hold on.
There's a better way of handling things. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody going to take care of my kids better than me.
All right, here we go.
You're racial profile. Yeah, you're wrong. You're assuming I'm someone that I'm not. Are you Jake? No, I'm not Jake. You look like Jake. There you go. I look like Jake. Yeah, but you're Jake. No, man. Yes, you are. No, I'm opposite. You're Jake. Okay, Get out of my face, man. You guys are harassing me. Yes, you guys are. Hey, you're fucking harassing me. Yes, you are. No. He's harassing me. Why are you harassing me? You're assuming I'm someone I'm not. Okay, if you're not, then no. I'm free to go. Okay. Am I being detained? Yeah, you are. For what? You think? That's an illusion. That's an illusion. You think? Stand up your hands. I'm not. For what? I don't have a warrant. You got the wrong guy. No, you are wrong. What do you mean you're wrong? You're wrong. You're wrong. Hold on. No. You guys are not gonna try to manhandle me. I'm not under arrest. I didn't do nothing. For what? For what? Can you tell me for what? For what? I'm under arrest for what? No. If you got the wrong guy, I'm suing all of you guys. Let me get your card. Can I get your card? Okay. I'm not standing up. Listen, I'm not under arrest. I don't have a warrant. I don't have any officers. Hey, yo. Hey, officer. No. Matter of fact, look at my ID. He got the wrong guy.
Now he want to give his ID. See, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life.
It's stupid. That's not you. You guys are racial profile thinking I'm somebody. I take both of you motherfuckers. Take them cuffs off. Sir. I got them. Take them cuffs off. I'll take both of you motherfuckers right now. This guy got the cleanest record. Y'all just. I'll take both of you motherfuckers right now. Take the cuffs off. For me, y'all got the wrong stupid, man. You guys are the dumbest motherfuckers.
Well, they want to get tough. Grab his fucking wall.
You are stupid. I don't know how you became a cop. The wrong dude. Matter of fact, anybody can become a cop nowadays. Yeah, so you guys really had no other choice to do. You guys really had nothing else to go to college for, but be a cop and harass me to assume I'm somebody I'm not. My ID's in my back pocket. Watch how funny this is. Go ahead, look at it. No, don't hate me. Look at it. Oh, what does that say? What does that say? Oh.
Wrong guy. Wrong guy.
Oh my God. No, get the fuck off me, dude. Get off me, dude.
Bro, you fucked up.
Matter of fact, I need our cars. I need your supervisor over here. Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor over here. You guys are the stupidest motherfuckers I ever met in my life. How'd you guys? What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Look at him. Get him. Tough guy. And this guy here.
No, what do you mean? I look like him. I need your guys. Sir, can you please come here? Are you the supervisor? These guys are racist profiling.
They didn't arrest you and they detained
I told them I'm not who they think I am. And they said, nope, you are. I'm positive you are. So, I need their cards. I need your card. I need your card. I need your card. No. Yes.
They knew they fucked up.
Why is that?
They knew they fucked up. That's the scheme. They murdered. They got it fucked up.
Bro, that was fucked up. No, these are the people.
They want to protect the FBI.
That's because they're corrupt as fuck.
Come on, baby. Come on.
They weren't expecting that shit.
They didn't care. Don't give it to him. Because at the end of the day, he was wrong. Because he didn't supply his ID. They thought he was a suspicious criminal. They detained him for that purpose. They did everything that they were supposed to.
The police will love you.
Did. I don't give a fuck what you say. At the end of the day, you're trying to tell people
the police like
you are educating people to go against the law. So let me tell you how that went. You just read it.
They just walked up on
me. You just read it for yourself.
You just watched the video.
They thought he was suspicious criminally. They asked him for his
name. They thought he was somebody.
All he had to do was supply his ID when they asked him.
Right. You keep on saying
because he was suspicious. He was a criminal suspicious.
He was not. The guy just said in the
he was
video,
a criminal suspicion.
The guy
he
just
was a criminal suspicion.
No,
and they said that we thought that you were
the guy that was wanted that had a warrant.
Right. So that's a criminal suspicion, dumbass.
You look like a girl that was a hoe. I think
that's fine. And do you need my ID to show that I'm not?
What that mean.
Do you need my ID to show that I'm not? What's the fucking big deal?
The big deal is why do I have to show you? I don't.
Because you look okay. So you rather be arrested on suspicion?
Just because you look like
you rather be arrested on suspicion.
Right to be somebody.
Because guess what? After he did exactly. Because guess what he did when they put him under arrest when they detained him. Wait a minute. When they detained him, he goes, "Look at my pocket. I got my ID. I got my ID."
Wait. When they seen it, they didn't have. You are the one.
They did exactly what they were going to do anyway. Had he given it to them in the beginning, they wouldn't have detained him.
Now we get it.
And then when when they detained him, his dumb ass said, "Let me get my ID out my pocket. Get my ID out my pocket." He could have been giving them the ID though.
you're gonna always be a police person.
Whatever. You call it what you want to. You
A
call
police-
it what you want to, but you always be a dumb nigga that decided that you want to damn beat your chest at the wrong time rather than do what you're supposed. That's crazy.
A police
Whatever.
officer shoot somebody, you're gonna be like, well, they shouldn't have did it.
That's not what I said.
You
what
gonna,
I'm saying is it's okay to comply. It's okay to follow the law. You don't have to be against the law all the time because they're police.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like that. You have a hatred for women and a hatred for police, and you feel like nobody's supposed to,
no matter how
comply.
Stand up for, you gonna always say they hate something.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you are educating people on not to follow the law.
I'm not educating people.
Yes, you are.
I'm telling people the police gotta follow the law too.
That was the law. You just read it for yourself.
Anybody that believes so? If what Josh saying, if a person just sitting there, if you just sitting there with your family,
that's not what he was doing. It wasn't just sitting there. They said to him, they asked him for his name. He didn't give his name. They asked him for his ID. He didn't give his ID. And as soon as they detained him, he screams, "Get my ID out my pocket!"
This man who is not even the man that they're looking for, got to give him the ID
because he was suspicious. That's the point of being suspicious.
Okay, so eating spaghetti is suspicious.
Suspicious criminal. He was a suspicious criminal. They thought he was the guy. Okay, all you had to do was show that you weren't. But instead, you gave pushback.
Yeah, you're wrong. You're assuming I'm someone that I'm not.
Then he screams, "Get my ID out my pocket!" After they detained him.
There you go. I look like
He could have just supplied his ID.
Yes, you are.
I get it. I get it. You one of the ones that just again.
I'm not one of the ones. Nothing. I'm somebody that want to go home to my mom, to go home to my kids.
You are a master type person. You are.
That's how you feel. It is what it is. I'm coming home to my kids, and you got a possibility of not. So who's smarter, you or me?
I mean, I get it. You're gonna always just say yes or master, no matter how.
That's fine. If that's how you feel, then that's what it is.
You're gonna be.
Yes. It don't make me no never mind. Because guess what? At the end of the day, you can say whatever you want, but I go home to my children.
I'm glad. I'm going
and you'll die just a dumb nigga. Nobody ain't gonna remember in 10 years. 5 years.
At the end of the day.
That's crazy. All because you wanted to get pushback because you felt like you were supposed to enforce the law right then and there on the scene.
Because a person is standing up for themselves. That's sad.
That's not standing up for yourself.
So you telling me if somebody's profiled me, racially profiled me?
How did he racially profile you? How was that racially profiling?
They just seen a black man that they said looked like somebody, and they just said,
and all you had to do was give
you got a warrant for your arrest. How wasn't that racial profiling?
Okay. So if I come up to a white guy and say, "Hey, you look like so and so," there's times where you and I went to the store one time, and this guy looked like somebody you went to school with. You was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry, man. I thought you was so and so." So that you racially profiled him?
I don't even remember what you're talking about for one, so I can't even speak on that. I don't even remember nothing like that.
Right.
So I don't even know what that's talking. That's racial profiling because they walked up to a black man and just picked a black man.
So if he was white, then it would have been racially profiling.
It would have still been racial profiling. If goddamn somebody walked up to a white person and said, "Oh, you look like this guy that is."
You got it.
Racial profiling him because he looked like somebody.
You got it. You need to apply to the police department.
Huh?
You need to apply to the police department.
I never want to be a police officer.
Oh, but then if you don't want to be the police, then you don't need to
want to be a police officer. They couldn't even pay me $10 million a year.
Well, you need to go to a citizens class so that you can understand more a little bit better. Because right now your education is short of your personal feelings.
You watch that video and see how they racially profile him. I don't get it. It ain't nothing I can say in this video.
If they let me tell you something. If it was racially profiled, they would have taken his ass to jail still. Because he after they detained him, while they were detaining him, he was pushing back. He was a excuse me. No, just listen to me. Hear me out.
Okay.
If they were racially profiling him, when he was resisting that and he struck the officer, that was enough to still take him to jail. They honestly went there and wanted to make sure that he wasn't who they thought he was. Because had that not been their agenda, they wouldn't have let him out of the cuffs. They wouldn't have let him out. They would have taken him to jail and they would have charged him. They would have slammed him down. They didn't even slam that man. They didn't use any physical force on him whatsoever. They literally thought that he was who they thought he was. And all he had to do was give his ID. And if you listen to the clip, once they detain him, he goes, "I got my ID, man. I got it. It's in my pocket. Get my ID out my pocket." But he could have automatically given that to them.
That man didn't say I.
They let him. Yes, he did.
my ID is in my pocket. Then, but all that you didn't say. He didn't say all that.
Yes, he did.
Oh, he didn't. He said, "Get my ID out my pocket and left."
Okay. So what? Okay. So let's say that's all he said. My ID in my pocket. Before he wouldn't give it to them. Before he said he didn't. Before he said he didn't have it.
You're right.
He wouldn't even give them his name.
You're right.
He asked for a confrontation, and they still didn't force. They didn't manhandle him. They didn't slam him down. They didn't do any of that. But because we see a white man, because you see a white man arresting a black guy, it automatically has to be racial.
Once they seen FBI.
Say what?
Once they seen FBI, it was.
Once they saw the FBI.
Yeah, once they seen the FBI, it was a wrap.
What you talking about?
He an FBI agent.
But it don't matter. He still was giving push. I didn't see no.
The fact that he was an FBI agent and didn't play no role in it. They were just
the black guy.
They were just doing great cop work.
They didn't know that he was an FBI agent when he was roughing them.
You're right. That's the problem. They didn't know because they just thought he was just a normal.
Right, and guess what? They still didn't slam him down. They still didn't hit him. They didn't do none of that other bullshit. They didn't do any of that. So I think that we are so hell bent on everything that's white and black has to be racial.
I say some black people do the shit that some black people do. It ain't about red and black. I'm trying to paint to you a picture of this situation about you cannot just look at a person and think that somebody is this person and just think.
But that's how the world is, and people do look alike, Reggie. Like we act like people don't look alike. You act like you could see somebody one time and know that you act like people don't call and say, "Hey, I think that same guy that was here yesterday that was banned from our establishment is here again today." Like shit like that happens. Like I really believe that you need to sit in a dispatch center or do a ride along so you can hear some of the stuff that comes out over the radio and you can understand on the other end why do officers respond to the bullshit calls. You think they don't think it's bullshit too? Hell yeah, but they still got to respond.
I'm not saying that.
But everything is not racial. That way that guy treated that lady in Florida, that I feel like that was racially motivated. I feel like not only was that racially motivated, but that was egotistic. And I feel like he's one of those officers who probably was bullied in school, and now he want to bully the world. But I feel like that right there, I know what racist cop looks like. I know. Believe me, I know what that looks like. They didn't rough that man up at all. Even when he was resisting them, they didn't rough him up. I feel like if it was racially motivated, they would have roughed him up like that guy did in Florida to that woman.
Did you see all them cameras that was around? And
who cares? You think people care about that?
All them people around.
You know how many traffic cameras was in that parking lot that lady was probably sitting in? You think that they care about that? Because at the end of the day, the system works for them.
Okay, so it ain't no. You're gonna always going to say the police are right, no matter what.
I never said the police were right. Did I ever say that man was right? You put that in my mouth.
You wanted that? That's what you fight.
I never said that he was right. I never said that he was right.
All you keep saying is to the fact of all you had to do was just give him the ID. That's it. Just give him his ID.
I never said that the guy in Florida was right. I continuously said that he was wrong. Matter of fact, I started my sentences off with, let me continue to reiterate that he was held of wrong.
Josh,
but you feel like you know everything about the police that there is to know, and you're educating people wrongly.
It comes out to the fact of that Florida is a stopping ID state. Yes, okay, got it. But in this position, I don't know if this is a stopping ID state.
Who cares? Like he was suspicious. You don't understand. Like you really got you got to educate yourself a little more before you speak on topics like this, because at first you didn't even know what a stopping ID state was because you never knew that there was such a thing.
I do know what a stopping ID state.
And no, you didn't, because that should have been your first stance.
Florida was a stopping ID state.
You didn't know, period, what it was because you would have looked it up.
They got that with the terror. I've been knowing about a stopping ID.
No, because they just labeled it stopping ID only like a few years ago. That was never a thing.
It used to be called a Terry stop. So it's not.
No, those are two different things.
you're gonna try to make again. You don't want to be wrong. Nothing can
I
never
don't
be
care
wrong.
about being wrong,
You can
but
never
I want to be wrong
always
with your
wanna be
facts, not with your opinions.
you always want to be you got to be right on it. But the fact of the matter is, you can't just look at a person and always think that they should just automatically just fall in line. If I'm a law-abiding citizen, just like a police officer is a law-abiding citizen, what makes the police better than me?
The police are supposed to be there to protect your communities.
What makes the police better than me? I didn't say that. What
You're
they
not. They're protecting your communities, and you're not.
that oh, so
So
that makes them
if you look suspicious in the community, they have the right to stop you and say, "Hey, who are you?"
so in your mind, that makes them better than me.
And that don't make them better than you. That makes them doing their job.
Okay, so so again, my
If
question.
you're walking around and you're
My question
suspicious,
wasn't
I
what
would rather the officer pull somebody.
my question is, what makes them better than me?
Who said that they were better than you?
So we all the same. They're
That's your feeling.
human being, right?
No.
They're not. So they're immortal then. They're immortal.
Hold on.
All right, y'all. We gotta get ready and wrap this podcast up and get this here, close this show out. Only thing I'm trying to close, I say, is on this, y'all. A police officer is not better than a citizen. A police officer job is just a dangerous job. I'm not saying that I don't wish no hurt, no harm on a good police officer because I want them to make it home to their family. They deserve to enjoy life just like I enjoy to deserve life. They deserve to be respected just like I deserve to be respected. I'm not saying nothing is nobody. I'm not better than them. They not better than me. They just have a more dangerous job dealing with criminals. And I done seen some good officers try to be nice, and I done seen some dumb niggas just pull out some guns and start shooting at them. And you like, man, why in the hell would this nigga do? Just like I watched the video the other day. Officer pulled over a guy. Officer was a white guy. So he was a real nice officer when he pulled the guy over, talking with the guy and everything. And the black dude goddamn wanted to be an asshole and jump in the car and hit the gas and kick the officer in the chest and kicked him out while he was hitting the gas. That officer could have lost his life. Do I agree with that? Hell no. I agree. The man was 100% wrong for trying to goddamn hurt the officer. When out the guy, hell, he put himself in a worse position. Goddamn, just try to speed out for a simple what? Get a traffic ticket. Get your simple ticket. You could have just got and went on about your day. Now you didn't turn that into assault, felony, or it could have been attempted murder or whatever they want to put on you on this officer. Was it worth it? In my opinion, no. But I'm still holding us all to the same standard. I got to give respect to an officer and respect them. And there's certain things that I can't just walk up to them and say, hey, and let me see your ID because you look like the officer that hit me last week and just cook out. No. It's respect. And that's just point blank. I'm not making it no more complicated than it is. Respect is respect. If you're gonna respect, if you gotta go give respect, give it across the board. An officer is not better than me. I'm not better than them. They just have a more dangerous job. Well, I can't say their job is dangerous, just like a man that cut trees job is dangerous. Just like somebody that is dangerous.
Okay.
And it is cutting trees. A man that climbs trees and cut trees down is dangerous.
Yeah, but you don't have to walk out your house and somebody shoot you or just because you're wearing a badge.
Danger is danger.
You don't.
I'm not
to
just
you it is, but when you put on that badge, you automatically when you put that uniform on, you automatically have a target on your back.
Danger is danger.
You automatically have a target on your back when you put that badge on. And
they signed up for that. That's
what
they said.
Okay, but that's not what we're talking about.
I get
You're
it.
saying that their job is just as dangerous as somebody that cuts down trees.
Exactly.
And that is not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Danger is danger. It's just different dangers. Let's use your example. They walk out the house, somebody got a target on their back. Somebody might want to shoot them for something that they did. Somebody might want to shoot them just for being a police officer. That's a level of danger. A person that's in a tree could get in a tree that's riding in the middle and falling and snapping. Another tree could come hit him. It's dangerous.
But it ain't no target on your back.
That
tree ain't shoot you.
That
tree ain't follow you home and kill your family.
They kill you.
That is not the same amount of danger. That's crazy.
I'm trying to show you danger is
analogy. No, it is not. Danger is not danger. Lord have mercy.
You don't. Again,
You don't go and chase nobody, and they or do a traffic stop, and the people
what I'm
in the
trying to
traffic
tell you,
stop
they
shoot
both are
you.
dangerous jobs.
They may be, but one is more dangerous than the other. And you said that it's the same amount. That's crazy.
One
That's
is
crazy.
they
In
both.
Atlanta,
What I'm going
alone,
to show you is they
not
both
only does the
jobs.
police officers
This was kind of
have
the
a
person that climbed up to climb the tree. He signed up to do that. The person that
that
signed up,
don't, but we're not talking about what you
they
signed
signed
up
up to do that.
for. You're talking about signed up for. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the amount of danger.
When you
You're
become
talking
a
about.
police officer, you understand the
So
amount
listen,
of
check
danger.
this out. Check this out. Do you understand that not only police officers, but tactical fire departments, EMS, all of them look the same to other people. So they all have the same target on their backs when they walk outside that door. Do you understand that your job climbing up
It ain't no,
trees, yeah, that
the
is a
thing about
choice, but
debating
I
though,
don't
is you
choose to
find a
get
way to
shot.
justify it. It ain't no point of us debating because you're gonna keep
Oh
on
my
no
God.
matter what you like I say.
Well, I tell you what, climbing a tree is not the same as being an officer. That's point blank.
They both are dangerous jobs. There's nothing you can tell me about it.
But that one, you're climbing a tree is not more dangerous than being an officer. I'll put that on a poll. That is not your job as a
What I'm
cutting
using
trees.
that scenario is to show you each individual signed up for it. I'm not comparing it. I'm not saying, oh, well, this person got these men. He got 10 dangers on him. This person got 3 dangers on him. They're both dangerous jobs. They both signed up for them. The tree person signed up for it. He knew what came with it. The police officer signed up for it. He knew what came with it.
No, he didn't know that this all came with it because policing has changed over the years. It's not the same. It has gotten worse over the
No matter
years.
how you come at it, you're gonna try to find a way to justify it. No matter
I
how many
mean,
times
I stand strong on you cutting trees is not the same and not the same amount of danger as somebody being a police officer.
No matter what, they are both. I'm gonna say it again. They're both dangerous jobs.
Mm-hmm.
When either the police signed up for it, when they go to training academy, and that officer's going through his academy to know it, he understands that, hey, I am going into a field that is a dangerous field.
Mm-hmm.
That is what he did. When the guy that go decide to climb trees, going to the trees, and he understands I am going into a dangerous field. I signed.
Okay.
They're both. I'm not complaining if I'm not saying a police got 30 dangers and the tree person got 5 dangers. They're both dangerous, but the common denominator in them is they both signed up for them willingly. Nobody made them
And
do.
as a citizen, you didn't sign up to be a sovereign citizen. So until you sign up to be a sovereign citizen, and you have to follow the laws of the land. That's all to it. And I digress after that. That is what it is. Maybe you need to look into being a sovereign citizen.
I need to. Maybe I would if once I find out, figure out what it is, and get a better understanding. Maybe I will. I love to be educated, so I would definitely do it if it's something that educates me and gives me more. I love to know knowledge, to get more knowledge. And see, I'm one of them. I'm willing to say that I would get more knowledge to be able to share correct information because I know I know everything. But you don't try to debate everything to make it fit.
I don't debate everything. If I know it, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't.
It ain't got.
And just like I was trying to tell you earlier about this, the stop and identify. And you were trying to tell me something totally different. I had to bring it to you for you to understand that I'm not lying to you.
Once I realized that it was a stop in ID state, Florida, you're right. It was Florida's a stop in ID state. So yes, she should. But I still stand on just if it's not a stop in ID state, yes, don't give it. But
that is not the truth because stop and ID is what we deem it. But other states have a different jargon for it.
Nah, you know what it doesn't matter if different states got a different. They can call it ID show me. They can show me pictured on the wall. They can call it whatever the name, but across the board, we know what we're talking about. So
but you're educating other people that may not be as literal.
If it's Florida stopping ID, but Massachusetts might be pictured on the wall. We know pictured on the wall is the same thing.
No, you always think everybody's supposed to think the way you think.
It's coming.
Okay. At the end of the day, for me, it's a no-go. As for me, I feel like there's a time to fight and there's a time to not fight. It's better to fight in silence and not announce your moves. If you're pulled over, I always ask you for your ID. Give them your ID. You don't have to push. You don't have to everything doesn't have to be an argument and a battle right then and there. Give them your ID. You feel like you were done wrong, report it afterwards. It's the you get a better outcome. You go home to your kids. You have a nice, safe home, safe night at home on that day, and you live to tell the story.
Okay.
All this other stuff that's egotistic, and it hurts your ego versus and your pride versus hurting you physically. Like that stuff can be swept. It can be gone. Like you don't have to. It doesn't. It's just that's a moral thing. Your
Okay.
ego and your pride can be set aside.
Okay. And so now my thing to do for the conclusions of what I'm saying, what she just said, that is definitely one way you can do it. It is nothing wrong with. I have no disagreement with what she said on the way that you can do it. You can definitely do it that way. You can just say, "Hey, here you go. Here go my license," and there you go. Give them the license and go on about your day and keep moving. That is not wrong. But what I'm also saying is find out the law of your state. And if your law of state say that you don't have to give your ID because somebody just want to pick up the ID, and your law say that you have the right to do that, then you also have the right to follow what the law. It's the law. I'm just telling y'all. I'm not a lawyer. I'm telling you to find out the law of your state, and you can have the right as a citizen to use the law, not break the
Afterwards.
law. I'm not telling you to break it. You have the legal right to use the law of your state that is correct and use it. And you also have the right to be in a respectable way to say, "Hey, I don't agree with this. I will be filing charges with about you to the internal affairs, whatever you want to say, and go on. And but you're still gonna abide by the law. And then once they let you go file your paperwork. So isn't what she's saying is one way you can do it? What I'm saying is another way that you can do it.
But just be mindful that the law states that you are to comply, and then
Did
afterwards
I just say
file
not comply? I didn't say
wait
say
a
not
minute
comply.
and file the paperwork afterwards
I never
of
said not
of
comply. I just said the
misdoing.
same thing.
So even
They got a
the
right to say,
federal law, you don't if you don't know, it also states that the officer does not have to give you the reason on why he's stopping you or why he's requesting your information. So you will never know if if the purpose of him pulling you or stopping you or requesting your info is for criminal purposes or not. So it's best to comply and then file the proper paperwork, because then you will have a leg to stand on versus the officer coming back and saying, well, they were criminally suspicious, or I felt like they were involved in some criminal activity, and this is why I pulled them. It'll be your word against theirs, especially if you were to not comply on the scene.
again,
It's
I'm
just
saying that
safest
Jada,
and
on purpose of
safest.
what I'm saying again. You can do it her way and shut up and just give your license. But you also have the right where you can still give your license and let a person know, hey, I will be filing charges on you. You have
Yeah.
that right to do it. You don't have to not let them know. And you also have the right where you can move in silence. So that's three ways right there you can do it and still be done and still be respectful in the situation and not just shut up and say yes, master. They gotta follow the law just like we gotta follow the law. It ain't gonna be no difference. So we're gonna get ready and close this thing out, man. You know how we gotta get ready and rock and roll, man. As you got, I am Mel, man. I always enjoy it. I was on time today, and now they went old instead of 8 to 10, it's 8 to then went to 8 to 11. I gotta go feed my kids, y'all, and get them. I done been on here this long
And he a bad father. Look at there. We were just talking about bad fathers.
and get these taken care of. So let me go feed the kids, man. Ride with y'all, but we're gonna definitely rock out to this intro before we get up out of here, y'all. So check out this intro. And Jai, you want to tell people how they can get in contact with you?
Right now is Wilson J underscore on Instagram.
Hey, y'all get in contact with her. Y'all can follow on there. We up out of here, man. Check